Welcome to Car Shopping Questions and Answers. My mission, if you don't know me, is to show you how to pay less for every car you get. New cars, used cars, leases, it does not matter. I teach a simple seven-step formula, a simple seven-step formula for you to make sure you never overpay for a car. And the first step is going to be, we're going to make sure we decide whether we should be buying or leasing our next car. The question of buying or leasing your car is a question about how long you're going to keep it. The second thing we do is make sure any car we have right now, we have to get the most money we can for it. That is a big deal. You cannot focus on the car you're buying without focusing on maximizing the value of the car you have right now. If that car was worth 8, but somebody talked you into taking 6, you lost 2,000. So we call that an equity assessment. Then we do something called deal focused budgeting to make sure we know what a great deal should look like. Then we make sure the car we're looking for, we go test drive it. We make sure it's a great car, do some very simple 5-minute research on it on Google. Then we move into step 5, which is getting 5 offers on every car. And then we move into paperwork. Then we take delivery. 99% of that is done from home. And that's why everything we teach is called Cars from Home. In fact, everything we'll be talking about is out my new book. It's a digital book called Cars from Home. It's 5-star rated. You can Google it, and you can get your copy for 75% off in the comment section on YouTube, in my TikTok bio. You will not leave the broadcast. You'll still be able to hear us. And in my Instagram bio and Facebook, we have a link for you to get your copy. So our first question comes from hold on one second. We'll get into our first question. Keep typing your questions, y'all. So Dolan's gonna pull them all in. I just got a message that we're having a little trouble with Facebook here. So our first question though is gonna be from Vanity on TikTok. She says she wants to lease. She wants to do it in her business name though. Okay, great question. We'll get to that in 10 seconds. Hang on one second. Okay, we're on the right page. Boom. Let me see. Got my internet connection. Thursday live. Let's go. While I'm doing this, you should be typing your questions. If you're looking for a new car, if you're looking for a used car, whatever you're looking for, Deshone, I don't even know what should I be looking for. You should be typing those questions to make sure that we can get them answered while we're on here. So let me just make sure. Live. Boom. All right, let's try Facebook again. Facebook might be giving us some trouble, but we don't like to leave anybody out. So let's go. Let's see if we go. All right, looks like Facebook is freezing. All right. I don't think we're going to be able to get around this right now. Broadcast failed. Okay, so we'll focus on YouTube. We'll focus on TikTok. And we'll focus on Instagram for now. We'll figure out Facebook later. Okay. So, and that's a good question. We'll talk about that 50,000 mile a year. That'll be the next question, Dolan. All right. So, Vanity, you want to lease. Let's talk about who leasing is for. Matter of fact, no, you already know you want to lease. So let's focus on what you talked about, want to put it in your business name. So I used to work for Mercedes. Some of you may know that. I used to work for Mercedes for 5 years. I worked for General Motors for 5 years. That's where I started my career. And then I went to Mercedes. I worked there for 5 years. Now, we had a lot of people getting cars in their business name, realtors, people who use the car for business. And then you had commercial leases. Then you had people who did like big business. They were putting cars in their business name and they needed commercial financing. General contractors, electricians, things of that nature. Most people, that's not going to be you. You're like the realtor. You are using your car and you're trying to see, well, can I put it in an LLC? Now, here's the problem that you need to make sure this is not you. We've never seen a day where anyone can come on and make a video, and if that video scratches the people's ear, if it's like, oh, that sounds like something I want to hear, then it could do well, and it could be totally wrong. So we have people telling people you can put cars in your business name, but the car is not going to be used for business. And here's the problem. When the IRS comes to audit you, they're not going to be around. So what you need to make sure of is if you are putting your car in your business name, you're actually using it for business. If you go and you get a couple hundred or a couple $1,000s a year in write-offs because the car is in your business name, and then you're audited and they ask you, well, what do you do with the car? And you tell them, well, I deliver cakes to my customers. I have a home business, but I deliver. Okay, great. Okay, that passes the test. Talk to your accountant. Talk to your accountant about this because I'm not an accountant. But if you are a teacher and you're buying a car in your business name and you have this LLC that you haven't really kind of decided what your business plan is, but yet you're writing off mileage or writing off payments or maintenance on your car, you have nothing to prove when they come and audit you. And you're not going to be able to say, well, I saw people. So it's just going to be a bad look. It's going to be very bad for you. So let's prevent that by just making sure that if you're going to buy a car in your business name, you'll be using it for business. That's very simple. And if that's the case, then everything's easy. I didn't even know people were going to put the car in their business name until the deal was done. Most times, like, the realtors, the thing, people would just be like, okay, I'm going to put it in my LLC. Perfect. So what would happen is instead of a normal credit application, you do a business credit application and you be the personal guarantor. Now, some people may tell you, again, there's tons of videos out there. Oh, you can put a car in your business name. You don't have to guarantee it. I don't teach that stuff. I've dealt with people who had fleets of vehicles that could not get a car in their business name without personally guaranteeing it. They had 10, 15 cars. Now, after you get, they might have not known because there's people you don't need that much, but it's not just easy to do. Maybe there's one bank that does, but again, I don't teach that. So if somebody said to you, you can put your car in a business name, no problem, no signing, no personal liability, then I always say go learn from that person how to do that. What bank does it? What car can I buy to do that? But the majority of people you're going to see are putting cars in their business name because they're using it for their job or they have a company, and that's it. Buy your car, learn to get your car to pay the best price for it, and then when they ask, whose name are you putting it in? You're putting it in your LLC's name. Super simple. It's not a hard thing to do. It's really based on your credit, but let me tell you something very important. I learned this the hard way. When I worked for Mercedes-Benz, I had a guy who came in, he bought an S550 from me. And he said, putting in his business name, all good. Now we get to the point where he calls me maybe a couple weeks after, and he says, hey, did the finance manager put the car on my business name? I said, yeah, absolutely. He said, it's still showing on my personal credit. I said, really? Because the whole point of putting the car in the business name is if you have two cars in the business name, the income from the business should be making sure that those $1,000 in car payments don't come off your debt to income. Don't come from your when you go and apply for new credit. If they see, wait, you got all these car payments, we're not giving you any more credit. That's the purpose, is they should not show because they're under the business. But there are certain banks, and in 2019, Mercedes-Benz Financial was one of them, who even if you put the car in your business name, they're showing it on your credit report. And again, that wasn't a happy day for me, but the finance manager didn't know either. So it wasn't even like, it was like, so I've been telling everybody since then, if your goal is to put your car in your business name so it doesn't show on your personal credit, make sure you talk to a finance manager that works in that brand and you make sure that it is not going to show, because sometimes it does. Great question. Go ahead, Dolan. I see we got a lot more questions coming in, so let's keep it moving. What's going on, Alex Rios? Good to see you, bro. Yeah, good to see you. Vicky, good to see you, Anthony Lewis. This is from TikTok. What's the best way to buy a Tesla? So you can't negotiate a price on a new Tesla. It's one price. You're going to order the vehicle. You don't have to worry about overpaying for the vehicle. Here's what you do need to concern yourself with. How are you going to acquire it? Are you paying cash? If you're paying cash, then there's no negotiation. You go, you drop your check, no problem. If you're leasing it, you need to make sure that you're not overpaying for the lease. We have something we could see. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of paying less than everyone and making sure we don't actually overpay for anything. We have something, the 1% lease rule has been around forever. That means if I'm looking at a $40,000 car, when I shop, if I get a payment under $400 with no money out of pocket, it's a steal. In my book, I call that the steal. We have 3 different types of lease outcomes. The steal is 1% or less. The deal is between 1% and 1.5. Time to chill is over 1.5. So, because I saw these people signing terrible lease deals. If you look at your payment, divide it into the MSRP, take your down payment out of it. You got to put your down payment back into, you got to do some math to say, all right, what would it have been if I didn't put that 3,000 down, that 5,000 down, and you just do like a sign and drive? If you divide that payment into the MSRP and it's over 1.5%, there's no value there for 12,000 miles per year. We adjusted. We got 15,000. Jen just got it. She just got her 18,000 mile a year lease because we do high mileage leases. That as long as we still have a great deal, there's nothing wrong with, oh, I shopped my best offer. It was 1.1 or it was 1.2 or it was 1, and then I adjusted the mileage, and now it's higher, but still it's a deal because you have to have a deal before you adjust your mileage. But if you do that and your payment's over 1.5%, there's no value in leasing that vehicle. You're paying too much money for a vehicle you're giving back. Say, what's up, Parth Patel? Good to see you. Same thing with 4-year leases. Add up all the payments. You'll see. I had to create these boundaries because people didn't know they're overpaying. People didn't know why. It's too much money for a vehicle you're not going to own. Leasing is a value play. It's okay, if I'm going to spend $400 a month, what's the most vehicle I can drive for $400 a month? Well, some people for $400 a month, they're driving a $30,000 vehicle. Some people for $400 a month, they're driving a $40,000 vehicle. Some people for $400, they're driving a $50,000 vehicle. There are people who, the better lease value you get, the more value you have. It's just, leasing is a value play. So when you add up all these payments, that's what you need. So that's what you need to concern yourself with if you're going to lease the Tesla. And if you're going to finance it, then you need to make sure that you are doing what we call the bank bidding war. I teach this in my book. If you want a copy of my book, you won't pay the $97 price. We have a book launch offer. It's 75% off. You can get your copy in the comment section on TikTok, on YouTube, or in my TikTok bios, or in my Instagram bio. It'll be in your inbox in literally 2 seconds. In fact, as soon as you pay, on that thank you page, you get 2 very important things. One is the link to open the book. I also email you a copy. And then I tell you, screenshot that page so that you can have the support email. I also have the support email for my team on the screen here on YouTube. This is only for book deliveries. Do not write us with questions. We have, this is how we help people. We have our boundaries of how we help people. I don't take questions from email. That is to make sure you get your book, just in case you type your email wrong. But in there, I teach something called the bank bidding war. So the bank bidding war is when we make banks and lenders compete for our loan. Rates are high right now. Even when rates are low, though, you should be making, you know how many banks and credit unions want to compete for your loan, but you're not giving them a chance? What's up, Jakara? You're not giving them a chance? There's tons of banks around us, online banks, credit unions, and you're just only going to Navy Federal, or you're just only going to the dealership. If you save 1 point on it, if you buy that Tesla and you save 1 point on your interest rate, that could be over $1,000. If you overpay, depending on your loan, if you're going like $50,000, 2 points could be $3,000, $4,000. So we take, in order for you to get a great deal, remember this, and then we'll pull up the next question. In order for you to get a great deal, I'm gonna make this very simple for you. You have to know that there are 3 transactions to every car deal. Not every, but if you have a car to replace, when you trade a car to a dealership, that's 1 transaction. That's why there are companies out here that want to buy cars. They don't even sell cars. They just want to buy them. They're wholesalers, and then we have companies that want to buy cars. They don't care if you buy a car from them. They just say, "Can we buy your old car?" That's one transaction. Then there are banks who want to lend to you. They don't sell cars. Hey, if we could just, can we just get in on your loan? Will you give us a chance to? That's another transaction. And then buying your car from someone, that's a third transaction. So in order for you, so when you say, all right, I need to make sure I guarantee I got the best deal, then you need to start doing what we do, which is understand there's 3 transactions and bid each one out. You can't negotiate your way to a great deal, but you can bid your way to a great deal. We get tons of bids when we're selling our cars. People who come, look at our car, looks great. They go to the accounting department, write a check. Here you go. Enjoy. Then we bid out our bank, our loan. Hey, and they allow you to do this. The dealers don't want you to know this. The banks don't even want you to know this. The banks really don't want you to know this. They allow you to bid out your loan. You can have 15, 20 lenders within a certain period of time. We do it. It takes us 2 days. Once you get your car, you can have multiple lenders access your credit and give you loan offers. Multiple lenders. That doesn't mean you go to dealership to dealership to dealership and let them all run your credit. That's not rate shopping. That's car shopping. That when they look at your credit report, they're like, okay, this person's going to every dealership they can and just letting everybody run their credit. That'll drop your credit. But finding a car, locking it up, in your case, it's going to be a Tesla, if that's where you go, and then coming home and saying, okay, now let me let Chase run this. Now let me let community credit unions get a shot at it. Now let me let Navy Federal. And hey, now let me let Lightstream. And I have resources I recommend in my bank. I'm in my book. No one pays me. None of these companies pay me. I hold myself to being a journalist in the purest sense. No one's paying me to get mentioned. This is who we use. This is who I use. So we have to know who these companies are and give them a shot at our business. And then we see, then the dealer might have 13 more banks. Then some people would say, oh, I don't let dealers run my credit. Well, you don't realize something. Dealers have tons of leverage with banks. Dealers can call because they give banks millions of dollars in loans a month. So they can call if they're trying to beat a rate. If you come in, hey, this is my rate, 6.2. Oh, listen, I need to beat this rate. The problem is when you go and let them be your first offer. So when you get your Tesla, if that's what you decide to do, you need to make sure if you have an old car, you're bidding that out. CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation, and Car Gurus, 6 offers in 20 minutes. Competing offers. CarMax, I'm going to say that again. Listen, everybody who's been on the stream, again, if this is your first time here, type the number 1. But even if you go credit union, see, understand, somebody said go credit union. If you're not making people compete, you can't. If you came out your credit union and you said, all right, I just got a loan here. If I said, hey, bet me $1,000 you couldn't get a better rate, would you take the bet? Probably not. Because you only let one person have a shot at your business. You don't know if this other credit union could have beat that. You don't know if Chase Manhattan could have beat that. You don't know if you did. There's 20 people that want to do business. So just to go in and say, all right, well, that's the credit union, I'm going to go with them. If they win the bid, then they got the business. But welcome to the first time people. What we do here is we bid. And you're going to learn that that's the easiest thing in the world. That's why car shopping from us. Look at people like Tote, BMW, $54,000 BMW, $690 a month, 1.26. She did it from home. Did it from home. Ended up saving $8,500 off, including the rebate. $8,500. Look, Benita, during the pandemic, I would love to honestly get someone on here who leased a Kia Telluride during the pandemic. I would love to see if your paperwork, if you did a no money down deal, I guarantee you're paying $800 a month, 700, 800, potentially 900 a month. Bonita got hers for 600 a month. Look, I always keep hers because some of you say, Deshone, when is the market going to get better? We've been making below market deals when there was blood in the street. That's it. As long as you know how to make people bid, you're going to get below market deals no matter what the market does. That's what, type a light bulb or type dollar signs if that clicks. The market wants you at the mercy of it. The market wants you thinking, well, all right, I think I'm gonna go in, Labor Day. All right, I know the holidays are coming up. That's marketing. They want showrooms full of people coming in thinking there's better deals this day, but there's not better deals. There's more competition for you. You have less room to negotiate when it's full, because the car sales people, when you start asking for too much money off, they're going to just escort you out because there's going to be a line of people behind you. Listen, Mr. Jones, hey, I'd love to do business with you, but we got people walking out the showroom. It's it's a busy day. We don't have enough salespeople. This is the best offer. It's less leverage when you go in there on a weekend. It's less leverage when you go in and the place is full. It's all perception. They're ringing bells. You're like, okay, everybody's buying a car. I don't want to leave here without a car. That all works against you. That's why it's not about the market. It's about you understanding that I can get great deals today when I learn to make people bid while I sit at home. And that's what I want you to get in my book, Cars from Home. It's a digital book. The reason it's a digital book is because I updated Vroom went out of business earlier this year. Had to update the book. Had I mailed you a copy of that would be irrelevant. But as soon as something happens, we go into the master file, update it. You got the new book. Vroom's gone, and you never even knew Vroom was there if you just got it. That's the whole point. Now you can get your copy. You can pull up the next question, Dolan. YouTube, I have a link for you. It's only good for 30 minutes, though. I'm not putting the welcome offer out there indefinitely because I'm incentivizing you to take action. The book is normally $97, worth every dime and more. That book is going to be one of the most valuable books to your bank account you ever bought. But as part of our welcome offer, you can get it for $97. You can get it for 75% off in my TikTok bio, in my Instagram bio. Go there now, get your copy, come back to the stream. Make sure you save the thank you page because that's where your book is. I'll email you a copy as well. And that's where the support email is, just in case you look in 10 minutes and that book's not there. It's usually because there's a typo in your email, but you'll have the support email so my team can get it for you. Okay, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next question up, brother. Okay. And could everybody who's enjoying the broadcast share this with one person? I appreciate you. Gail from YouTube, how are you? Should age be a factor if you lease or finance? That's a great question. Oh, she's 70 years young. No, it's only a matter of how many years you're keeping the car. I'll give you an example. Felicia came in she started working with us, pandemic. I might have a picture of her BMW she got. She never thought she could afford a BMW because who knows how every $5,000 on a car loan is about how much per month. And this is why you'll understand leasing, if you're not keeping your cars 8 years, is going to allow you to drive cars that you didn't think you could drive before. I had 4 Infinities that I leased. Before I bought this Infinity truck, I had 4 that I leased. And I know I'm talking to some people and you're like, Deshone, I was taught never lease cars. If that's you, be honest. Type I was. Type, me or I was. You were taught never to lease. I want to tell you that the people who taught you that, the people who programmed you, Dave Ramsey might have been one of them. Dave Ramsey does a great job helping people get out of debt, helping people invest in the stock market. God bless Dave Ramsey. He's helped a lot of people do that. But when it comes to cars, he has cost you more money than he's going to give you back. The bad leasing advice is totally wrong. And in fact, I'm going to prove it to you. When you look at a great lease deal. Look at Ansley. Ansley gets a 2024 QX60 Infinity $58,000 truck. He's paying $554 a month. Every $5,000 on a car loan is about $100 a month. So when you walk into a car dealership and you're shopping, you're looking at a used car, you're looking at a new, when you see $10,000, you should think to yourself $200 a month. You see, oh, I see you asking 25 grand for that. You should think $500 a month. Oh, that's a $50,000 vehicle, $1,000 a month. Because here's why that thinking will protect you, because that's based on a 5-year loan. The max I'll ever recommend you go is on the 6 years. You can go 6 years. But anything longer than that, now you're in the 40-year mortgage category. What do you mean 40-year mortgage? Who didn't know that there were 40-year mortgages available? I'll do you one better. Did you know there's 50-year mortgages available? Did you know that? Who right now would sign up for a 50-year mortgage? Anybody? We got a bunch of smart people on here. Anybody signing up for a 50-year mortgage? No? Okay, I didn't think so. So when you go in and you see $1,000 car and you say, all right, every 5,000 is $100 a month. That's going to cost me about $1,000. If you go in there like a lot of people do, and this is again, look, I gotta break the bad news to you. I know that some people like Deshone, I don't like bad news, and you're not gonna like what we do here. That's just it. But here's the thing: I don't leave you there. I give you the bad news to try to show you how much money you're losing, so that you can actually snap into it and get serious about this and start winning the way we win. If I just come to you and say, you're doing so good, your car deals are just so good, that used car you bought, man, you really paid a great price for it. You really got a quality car. You got a below market deal, but let me help you do better. You'd be like, no, I'm actually doing good. I have to come to you and let you know that if you don't know the new price of the used car you bought, you don't know how much it was when it was new. How do you know how much discount you saving? All of these things that is like bad news first, that's what we got to do. So when you say if you don't know that every 5,000 is $100 a month, here's what you do. You go into the dealership and you say, all right, you look at the same $50,000 car that should register at about 1,000, and you say something like this. Could you get that to like 700, something like that? Okay, how much money could you put down? I could probably put down like 10. Okay, even if you put down 10. Now that should, in your mind, if you went from that 50,000 to 40, you should be like, okay, well, even if I put 10 down, I'm still going to be around 800. But here's what they're going to do. They're going to put you into a loan that's so long, you're not going to even realize it. And I've had people come to me with cars and they're like, D, man, I think I'm ready to switch this car, man, but the dealer telling me I can't get out of it. I said, all right, how much you paying? All right, payment's not too bad. All right, you know how many years, how long is the loan? Oh man, I ain't even asked. Okay. You already telling me where we're going. This is gonna be bad. Man, you in a 96-month loan. You in an 84-month loan. That's what not having these things in mind becomes. So going back to Ashley here, if he walked in to get that same 2024 Infinity that he just leased for $554 a month with, look, first month's down, first month payment, he gave him $554, drove off in an almost $60,000 car. That would be $1,200 a month almost. $1,200 a month. I told you, 4 leases I had. If just Infinities. I had a G62 and then I had a Jeep Grand Cherokee as well. But 4 Infinity leases, these were $40,000 cars I was driving for under $400 a month. Cars that would normally cost, cars that people are out here paying $700, $800, $900 a month for. Because they believe the never lease a car lie. They believe, oh, leasing is renting. Okay, well, I'll be renting for 3 years and then I'm gonna go and switch it up, do something else, keep all this money in my household. You go ahead and do that. Oh man, the car broke down. Man, yeah, man, it's 5 years old. Now, oh, you don't have a warranty? Nah, the warranty just expired. All right, man, listen. You go ahead and do that. That's why I say to people who you believe they owe you money. Just learning about deal structure, you'll be like, that's why I tell you, you can't get a great deal if you should have leased what you bought. So, Gail, to answer your question, no, has nothing to do with age, has everything to do with you asking the first question in my book, the most important question, which is, how many years am I going to keep this next car? That's the question you ask yourself. If y'all are enjoying what you're seeing on TikTok, could y'all keep tapping the screen, run those likes up? Can we get those likes over 1,000, 2,000? Let's just run the likes up if you're enjoying what you're hearing. That's the issue. You always ask yourself, this is the question you ask yourself, all of you who are car shopping right now, how many years am I keeping the next vehicle? And if it's 8 or more, then you're going to shop for a below market purchase, new or used, depending on your budget. If it's less than 8, if you're like, I'm honest, man, I don't think I'm going to keep this thing 8 years. You should be shopping for a below market lease, and it's not even close. It's not even close. All right? Doesn't have anything to do with your age, Gail. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one up. All right. Great questions today. Keep typing your questions, y'all. We'll get to as many as we can before the stream ends. All right. This one's from YouTube. I drive up to 50,000 miles a year for gig work. I would like to lease. Here's the problem. High mileage leases are a thing. So we get a chance to dispel a myth right now, which is, that leasing, they limit you on mileage. You choose your mileage. Most vehicles will write you a lease contract up to 30,000 miles per year. And I learned this when I was a manager at Hyundai for 6 weeks. It was a rough dealership. It was on the highway. People were fighting in the back, drugs in the back. It was rough. So 6 weeks I was there, and then I was like, all right, this ain't for me. But in that time, I learned something that I had never learned before, being with GM and with Mercedes. Person comes in, they drop off their lease, and they're like, I go in, we got to get the mileage off the car. And I see it's like 72,000 miles on the car. And I said, wait a minute, hold on. You lease this? He said, yeah, I always lease, because every time I used to buy my cars, I come back 3 years, 4 years, I always had tons of negative equity. I had to write a big check or roll that over, which I know because this is what I was doing with my clients. Every single car, hey, you got like $8,000 negative equity. You got to roll that over. But once I saw how he was doing it, I said, wait, hold on. I looked at his contract. He was only paying like $175 more a month than the normal lease rate. Literally $175 more per month. He gets 25,000 miles a year. And I'm like, this is great. Because $175 per month more times 3 years is much less than if he brought that car back and had to write a $12,000 had $12,000 in negative equity, which a lot of you high mileage drivers continue to have. You have the worst negative equity more than anyone. Normal drivers who buy, but they should be leasing, they're going to have $5,000-10,000 in negative equity. High mileage drivers, you guys could have 10 to 15, 18,000 because you're depreciating the value of your cars. Your car's value is like this, but your loan is just moving very slow. So that's when I started telling people about high mileage leases. Now, I haven't, in your particular case, what I would probably recommend, I have 2 high mileage strategies in my book for short-term people. One is a high mileage lease. One is something I call two cars, one payment. 2 cars, one payment is I'm going to buy my first car, or you may own a car now, and you're going to pay that car off. So let's say I'm you and I'm putting 50,000 miles on the car. You should be, quite honestly, paying these cars off sooner than later. You shouldn't be taking 5- and 6-year loans like everyone else, because I would assume with you putting 50,000 miles a year on a vehicle, that vehicle is making you money. So what you're doing when you take a long loan is you're just pushing your losses to the back. Instead of taking a shorter loan, like a 3-year loan, max 4, and then saying, okay, I'm going to drive 50,000 miles per year, 200,000 miles, I'm coming in, I'm going to turn this vehicle, and I'm going to have it paid off, though. What you're doing is say, all right, I want a lower payment. Instead of a 4-year payment for, $650, $700, I'm going to take a 6-year payment for $400. So what you're doing, you think you're winning, but you're actually losing, because it's like that extra $250, $300 a month you're making is actually not profit. You're just you're pushing your losses to the back, because when you come back in 4 years and that vehicle has 200,000 miles on it, it's going to be worthless, but your loan is going to be like 17 grand still. You're going to owe so much more money, and you're like, wow, what do I do with this now? You have to roll it over. So the solution would be to take a shorter loan, take a shorter loan, and then turn the cars when you're ready to. They're paid off though. So it's a couple years old, it might be worth 5 grand, 7 grand. So now instead of you actually having negative equity, taking losses in the back end, pushing that loss to your next vehicle because you're rolling it over, you actually have an asset now, 5 grand, 6 grand, 8, that you can use towards your next car. But it's all about knowing I'm going to take less profit per month. I'm not going to take the most profit per month and think that I'm going to be able to do this. So now, if you say, if the 2 cars, 1 payment strategy is, you would actually pay off 1 car and then you lease a nice car. So you maybe lease, once my first car is paid off, it has 2, and that first car needs to be something that is known for going 300,000 miles. Literally, very, very important. That first car, you need to, it's Honda, Toyota, something that you can look at the records and say, yeah, these cars go 300,000. Because once you actually get that 300,000 on that car, you still may want to keep it because it's highway mileage. It's highway mileage. So I'm gonna have my car that I put my mileage on. I'll put maybe 25,000 on that Honda a year, or even 30,000, and then I'll have my lease that I lease for like 15,000 miles a year, or 20,000 miles a year. And then I got my nice car. I switch every 3 years, and I got my lease car. I got my mileage car to balance it out. That's 2 cars. You're always gonna have 1 payment. So that's really 2 strategies for you to consider: buying a car, taking out a short loan, switching the car every 4 years or so, and not leasing. Just literally run the miles up, make your money on it, come back, do it again. But do not buy these cars and put 5 and 6 and 7 year loans on them at all. That's what most people are doing, by the way. All right. Go ahead, Dolan. Great question. Great question. I love this stuff, man. I love this stuff. Kino, I see you. Armando Lara, if you're enjoying the stream, type $signs. If you're enjoying the stream, type $signs. $signs. I already know this stuff. I already know this stuff. I need you to know it. I need you paying, I need you confident in your deal. All right. TDA Tastemaker from Instagram. If I have a car in my possession, but I defaulted on my loan, but I still have the car, what's the best way to get my title? I don't know. You're not paying the loan, you defaulted on it, and you're trying to get the title. No way. There's no way. They're not going to release the title until it's paid off. Got to figure out a way to pay or sell. I don't even know. Can you sell it? Depends on where you are. How far behind are you? We can try to get out of that car, go into something less expensive. I would try to sell the car. I would go on CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, KBB Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation, like Car Gurus. Get my 6 offers, see if you can sell it. Go into something less expensive because that repo is going to follow you. So what's happening is this is baggage. This is why I need you to either fix your credit over the next couple years. You can follow Shonda Martin. Y'all know I recommend her all the time. She's just like me, but she does credit. She'll get on, tons of hours of information. She helped me, just little tips she helped me. I went like another 50 points on my credit score, just stuff I didn't understand because I don't study credit. You know what I mean? I'm not an expert in credit. Even though credit involved, think about that. Credit is a big part of what I teach. But I don't go into credit because that's its own subject. So Dave Ramsey would be like, hey, well, a lot of my people are buying cars. I guess I'll talk about that too. No, let the experts talk about that. You go find the experts and bring them to your people. So I always say, I don't talk credit, follow the experts. But when there's negative equity and bad credit affect your car deals. So the mission is, how do I make deals without negative equity? You got to know the cause. You should be leasing, but you keep buying. You should be shopping for below market leases, paying cents on the dollar, but you keep buying. Second cause, the second thing affects your deal is bad credit. So we got to make sure that we are working on our credit, and until your credit is fixed, you should be driving something inexpensive. Get the least expensive car you could afford. I mean, that'll Facebook Marketplace, drop $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. Find someone who's an owner. You want to find someone. I picked up a car because I work from home. We have another car. We got the Infinity truck. I picked up a car from a grandfather. He was 98 years old, and he owned it for 10 years, and it had 70,000 miles on it. It was an '08. I said, listen, how much? He said, $3,700. I said, all right, let's go. It's a great deal, and it's just my point A to point B car. Why do I need a car that I'm going to tie up a bunch of money in to go? I drive that car 1,000. If I drive that car 100 miles a month, 200 miles a month, that's a lot. You have to know, and I call this in my book, the SMART strategy. It's called saving money at the right time. If your credit is not right, you don't need to go out and try to flex. You need to be trying to get something inexpensive. Oh, but they're going, man, I can't pull up like this. Then you go ahead and be financially foolish. Go ahead, pay 19%. Go get the Dodge Charger you want and pay 20% on it. And you're gonna overpay for the car. Go ahead, do that. But don't say I told you to do that. So what I'm doing is I'm getting an inexpensive car that I'll find on Facebook Marketplace that an owner has had in their driveway. They know everything about it. Pick it up for a couple grand. Don't buy from these dealers who pose as owners who just got the cars from auction. You ask them, hey, how long you had it? Hey, what happened? They don't know anything about it because they just got it. And I'm getting an inexpensive car until my credit is established. And what I would be doing is literally driving that car for 18 months or 2 years, getting my credit right, and then I'm going to lease something brand new. And be like, Dad, so you just went from that car to pulling up with something brand new? How you do that? I had a plan. That's how we do. So all of this, everything I'm teaching is out my new book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's normally $97. You can Google it. It's 5-star rated. I think we have, how many ratings do we have now? I think we have, thank you to everyone who's reviewed the book, who's rated it. I appreciate it. 58 ratings. Appreciate it. You can read what people say about it. You can see how they've used it. You can see everything. So you won't pay the normal $97 price. If you go to my TikTok bio, as long as you get there before that timer hits 0. If you went to that page and that timer started clicking, once it's 0, it goes back to $97. You won't get the 75% off. So go back, get your book, and then you can come back to the stream. But make sure when you get your book, you save the thank you page so you can have the support email just in case your book doesn't hit, you usually type your email wrong, you type in too fast. We'll make sure you get it. And then on YouTube and Instagram, you go to my bio, get your copy. YouTube and Facebook, we have a comment for you in the link. We have a link for you in the comments. Next question, Dolan. Go ahead, man. This one from Instagram. I'm doing a regular lease. I need help. Can you explain the 1.2? Okay. Can you explain the 0.125 APR again? Should that be close to my monthly payment? Can you help? I'm trying my best, but they're trying my patience. So, first thing you're going to understand is the 1% rule. All right. When we go out to lease a car, in our deal focused budgeting step, this is something in our step 3 in my book. It's 7 steps. It's called deal focused budgeting. That means we are budgeting for what a deal should be, not for what we could spend. So if we're looking at a car that's $40,000 and we're like, okay, I'm going to shop for that car. When we're basing everything on the 1% rule, which is 1%, a 1% payment is 0.01, 0.01, $400. So you take the MSRP, $40,000 times 0.01, $400. That's the 1% lease deal. Anything lower than that, now you don't get these deals by negotiating. We get multiple offers. Some people are like, Deshone, I can't get no deals like that. Well, we got tons of them. If y'all want me to show them to y'all, we got tons of them. But anyway, that's a steal. That's not a deal. I call that a steal. Anything less than this, you stole a vehicle. Now, the 1.5% rule, which is 40,000 times 0.015, that's the max. That's the max. We're not going higher than that because once you add that up for 3 years, 36 months, 21,600, that's right around the cap of where we're gonna, because you got 40,000 plus taxes and everything like that. So call it around 43, 45. You want to pay no more than like 21.6 over 3 years. That's the cap. And if that's the best offer, it could be the lease program. They don't have much support. They got a high money factor. They got not much rebates, high demand, whatever it may be. But once we get 5 offers, if it's over 1.5%, we don't get those cars. So now what this person's asking about is that middle point, which is 0.0125. So we take the 40,000, we say 0.0125, that's going to be 500. So anywhere under 1.5 is a deal. Anywhere under 1.5 is a deal. The lower it is, the better it is, the more value it is. But the lower it is, how does it get lower? You're not negotiating it lower. You're getting once you see all your offers, if your offers, and again, I don't know your name because it's not on here, but if your offers aren't $175 to $200 a month difference, then you didn't shop right. When you're looking at those 5 offers, thank you. I see everybody sending gifts on TikTok. I appreciate it. I forgot. And can y'all double tap the screen? Just get those. Can we get to 1,000 likes on here? Can we get to 1,000 likes on here? Can we double tap? Can we just keep tapping the screen? If y'all enjoying y'all spending time with us, can y'all help us get to 1,000 likes? Appreciate y'all. So this is where this is a midpoint. But here's what you don't do. You do not go into the, y'all done flew. Y'all about to fly past 1,000. Look, on 10 seconds. Shout out to TikTok. Appreciate y'all. All right, so you don't go in a dealership and say, oh, well, get me to this. I want to be at 1.25. I want to be at 1.5. No, you don't do that. Because here's the thing. Ansley, he got a 1% lease deal on this Infiniti. Look, Jen on her Subaru. She just on her Honda CRV hybrid. She got a 1.3 lease deal, $512 a month, $40,000 vehicle. You don't go in and say that. You shop the offers from home, and if y'all want to do it manually, you can talk to sales managers. You can try to get this done manually. We do this totally by email without talking, because I know you probably don't like talking to car dealers. Am I right? Would I be right by assuming that? So she didn't know that her lease was going to end up at 1.3 when she shopped. Ansley didn't know it was going to be 1%. Look, Kimberly got a Maserati. Let's go to some luxury vehicles, because sometimes people think, oh, well, remember, I worked for Mercedes before I came and started teaching. So the formulas are the same, whether it's a Bentley, whether it's a Rolls Royce, the formulas and the principles don't change of multiple offers. Look, Kimberly gets a Maserati. She's paying, it was a $91,000 vehicle, 92 almost. She's paying $944 a month for it. It's a Maserati Grecal Modena, $92,000 vehicle. She's paying $944 a month for it. She didn't know that she was going to save $20,000 off. This is the other post. Look, she didn't know they were going to knock $20,000 off the selling price. You don't know that. You come in, you trust the process, you get the multiple offers, and then you look at the best offer. If the best offer, whatever the best offer lands at, as long as you see a bunch of other higher offers, now you know you shopped the market correctly. You found the 20% dealer, we call them, that beats all their competition. And now there's your deal. This is for new cars and leases. Used cars, different strategy. Different, still multiple offers, multiple options, but it's a different strategy. That's in my book too. But I want to make sure you understand this. That is how you do it. The 1.2%, 1.25 is just a middle ground. But when you shop your offers, just make sure they're all under 1.5 and then pick the best one. If the best offers is over 1.5, you got 1.6, 1.7, 1.9. That's a bad lease program. That means there's no support there. As long as you see a spread, if there's no, like, man, all of these offers are over 1.5, it's a bad lease program. High interest rate, probably terrible residual, no rebates, no incentives. That dealer who's the lowest is discounting the car. It's not their fault. They can't help the lease program. So the better you get, the better the lease program is. When you shop, you'll be closer to 1. The tighter the lease program is, when you shop, you'll be closer to 1.5. But as long as you're under 1.5, it's great value, much better than buying, paying cents on the dollars. It's a win. All right. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one in. And I think y'all see, I have to answer these questions thoroughly. If y'all will want me to zip through them, let me know. Type zip or type either Z for zip through or D for details. Because listen, I'll run it however y'all want it. If y'all want me to do these quick, don't go into the details, just kind of give us the zip answers, then I'll do that. But I see a lot of people talking about, okay, they want it in detail. Perfect. That's what I thought. So we're gonna keep it going that way. Now, T, on TikTok, you said, "Can you do my deal for me?" So here's the thing. People say, "Deshone, can you come to the dealership with me?" I don't go to dealerships. That I'm trying to get you not to go to dealerships. So, but we do have a look. If you can go to my TikTok bio, you can see there's a button there that says "Shop with Deshone," and you can see if you qualify to shop with me. Because everything I do is from right here until we go test drive. Until we go test drive. So, but if you want to learn how to do what I do right here, and you want to do it together, go see if we qualify to shop with each other. I don't shop with everybody though. I can't. So go there. That's a separate thing. And let's go. I think we got time for a few more. This one's from Instagram. I'm looking at a 2024 Mazda CX-5, $39,445. I see a fee listed. What is silent security? That's what 80% of dealers do. See, don't try to change 80% of dealers. They are going to actually charge you as much as they can. When you negotiate with them, they're going to say, "This is my best price." They're not lying to you. That's their best price. That's not their competition's best price. So when you're sitting at home, unfortunately, I think you could be from this mindset. Deshone, aren't all the Mazda dealer prices the same? There are people who think that. There are people who think like, okay, it's like the Apple Store. Like Apple Store next to me, Apple Store in Santa Clara, California, Apple Store in here, it's gonna be, these are all the same price. I'm gonna just deal with who's closer. It's like McDonald's, right? Same price here, let's go to the closest McDonald's. Nope, it's totally different. These are competitors. These are competitors, individually owned franchises. They compete against each other and they try to beat each other, which is why when you get to a dealership, what don't they want you doing? I want to give y'all some time to type this in. What don't they want you doing? Once you sit down in that seat, if they can get you to sit down in that seat, which we don't do. We never talk numbers in a dealership. We're there to test drive. What don't they want you doing when you're in a dealership? Y'all don't need to hear this from me. You've experienced it. They don't want you leaving. Thank you, Smokey. Thank you, Smokey. Newberg, yes. They don't want you to leave. Luis Soto, I see you on Facebook. Don't leave. Look, you had, so now, see, as we pull back the curtain, there's new brain cells that are being developed now, things that you weren't aware of. Now you'll see why. That's why. Because the last thing they want you to do is shop their competition. Their last thing is, hey, what can we do? Just tell me what we can do. That's why they're just gonna sit there. Hey, come on, tell me what's gonna make you happy. Well, what's gonna make me happy is you give me time, let me go home and actually, shop around a little bit. But is there a number? Is there a number that I could offer you where you wouldn't even shop? These are all trained questions to keep you there. I call them the showroom shackles. It's like as soon as you sit down, like a little, boom, little handcuff comes out. You can't go too far. So this is what you want to avoid like the plague. We do not talk numbers in dealerships. We don't talk to salespeople unless we're there for a test drive. These are things that everybody who I'm sharing with you, from Greg to Danielle with her Audi lease, Eddie on his pre-owned, on his Toyota, got a brand new Toyota last year, still during the pandemic. It was still, look, he said, I shopped around. I was able to get everything I wanted, plus more, $2,086 under MSRP in a 1 week window. 1 week. So this doesn't take a lot of time. Some of you like, Deshone, well, I only got a couple days. Could I make a deal in a couple days? Look, not even Eddie. I'll give you one better. Look at Ansley. Ansley's got his, Ansley, look, on his 2024 Infiniti, he said, look, I started the process Saturday. I accepted a deal Monday. I need you getting these deals in 90 minutes. 90 minutes. I have never gotten any car that I ever got spent more than 2 hours on the whole process. Never. From home. Now, I want you to spend more time than that shopping. Shopping is deciding what you want. Going test driving, going seeing cars, seeing options, looking at cars, deciding that. No rush on. We don't let anyone rush us on that. But when it comes time to get the below market deal, 90 minutes. We got the internet. Why should it take me more? We do everything we do. So look, 2 days, Ansley did it. This is what you have to do. Like, get out of that old process of being trapped in dealership and realize, Messing King, the dealership you're looking at is just one of many. The whole area around us is one big marketplace. If there's 25 Mazda dealerships around us, you're going to know. I'm talking to all of these people. They're fighting for my business in my email. They blowing my email up. They all want to sell me a car, and may the best dealer win. It's empowering. It's beautiful. So everything is in my digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You can get your copy for 75% off as part of our welcome offer. How the heck did we go from 500 likes to 3,200 likes on TikTok? Shout out to y'all. We on 2 TikTok channels right now. But y'all done blew this one up. Appreciate y'all. In my TikTok bio is your copy of Cars from Home. You'll also get the bank bidding war blueprint for those of you who are financing, and teach you how to make banks and credit unions bid, and everything step by step. You won't pay the normal $97 price. You get there before that timer hits 0. You'll get it for $24, which is 75% off. Same thing in Instagram. Go to my Instagram bio now. Before the timer hits 0, you only got 30 minutes. Get your copy for $24 instead of $97. And on YouTube and Facebook, we have a link in the comment for you guys to get yours for 75% off. All right, Dolan, let's roll with I think we got time. Let's see how many. Go ahead, shoot the next one up. Looking at the clock. I have front bumper damage on my Ford EcoSport and 3,500 negative equity. What should I do? There's only 2 things you can do to get out of negative equity and into a new car. One of them, there's 3 things actually, but one of them doesn't get you a new car. Negative equity, I call the bad credit for people with good credit. It's the only time I see people will walk in the dealership with a 750 or 800 score, they leave with no car. Negative equity stalled the whole deal. So what you want to do is you get your bids, Young King, you get your bids from these companies, CarMax. This will take you 20 minutes. This is step 2 in my book, the equity assessment. We need to know what the real equity is, what the real negative equity is, and we don't do that based on an algorithm typing in 2,000 this, and then in 5 seconds This says, oh, your vehicle's worth this. Now go fight for it. No, we get offers. So you're going to go to CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly Blue Book, Instant Cash Offer, Car Gurus, and Auto Nation. You get those 6 offers. Now, the best thing for you to do is to close the gap and pay the difference. So whatever your highest offer is, if you have the money, I will pay the difference, because none of those higher offers are going to be as good as no dealer is going to be able to get close to your highest offer over there. Now, a thing for you is if all your offers are under 10 grand, you can list that car on Facebook Marketplace. I would sell it privately if the offers are around 10. Once you get to like a $12,000 car on Facebook Marketplace, you're really limiting your options because people need loans. So not too many people can come in and stroke a check for 10, 12 grand. So your buying pool is going to be limited. But I would go that route, because if they come in and they pay you $2,000 more privately, now you might only have to come up with $1,000 or $1,500 to close the gap. I would prefer you to do that, because then you get to do a clean deal. You get to go shop for a car, or when you're shopping for your car, once you get it, you're selling your old car to this buyer, and your deal is clean. You don't have to roll any baggage over. Now, if you can't pay the difference, you now have to bring baggage over. And unfortunately, you have to do what we have a curse word here. We don't say it much. I don't like to use it. It's a curse word. It starts with a T. Does anybody know the word that we use? Something we don't do. We don't do. But you're going to have to do it if you can't pay the difference between the negative. Thank you, Ivan. Trade. Thank you. I love my people. Man, listen, man. I love the people who locked in. You could tell the people who just like, man, Deshone, listen, I hear you, bro. My money's important to me. I can't be out here on a stream with you and not be getting what you're saying. Like, my money means something to me. Correct. Trade. We don't trade, because again, you're not going to get the most you can get for your item trading it. You get the most doing what I told you to do over the last 90 seconds, which is putting it on the market, multiple offers, competing, blah, 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 blah. So if you have to trade, then what would happen is you would have to shop for your vehicle, get your best offer, and then once you get your best offer, you would have the used car manager look at your car and say, okay, we're going to roll that over. So, if your best offer over here would have resulted in $3,500 in negative equity, when you get your best deal here, they're going to now, it's probably going to be $5 grand in negative equity, because they can't pay those prices that Carvana and Driveway and Auto Nation, they can't compete with that. So now here's what you also could do, which I hope you don't do. You can go into a dealership and just say, hey, can you trade me out of that into a new car? I want to lease or I want to buy something. And they'll pretend you won't even understand the numbers. They'll just be like, all right, what payment you want to be at? You won't understand how much negative equity you have. You won't even understand that. Yo, dad, y'all, how I end up with 6,000 negative equity from y'all? Oh, because you just let them merge the deal. You gave them 2 chances. So what we do is we shop for our new car, get our bids, or if we're looking at a used car, we use my multiple marketplace strategy in my book. We get our deal. We find our best used car. Once we lock it up, now we already know those prices. We know what our all-in price looks like, because whenever we get a price, we get it all in, taxes, everything in. And now it's like, all right, can you tell me how much you would pay me for my car? So now it's like, oh, okay. Now you can see, oh, it's 3,200 in negative equity. You need to see the numbers. You don't need to. I want you to see them so that no one can be pulling the wool over your eyes when it should have been 3,200 in negative equity, but they're going to turn it into 6 because you just came in and said, all right, y'all get me into a car. Just make the payment nice. So we always separate our transactions and bid them out, even if we have negative equity. That's not going to change. But in your particular case, if you have too much negative equity, you can't pay the difference. You lose the ability to bid out your car, which is a major part of what we do. We bid out our car so we can maximize that. If you can't pay the difference, you now have to trade, and one step of the bidding process you can't do, which is why I say stay out of negative equity. You should be going into a lease. It's no way. Only people who should be going from negative equity to another finance is if you had an emergency. which means like, okay, Deshone, I had a small car and my wife just had twins. Like, I had a two-seater, I had a coupe. She's having twins. Now we need a bigger car. I was going to keep it 8 years. I was going to keep the car 8 years, pay it off, keep it. But now this doesn't work for me anymore. The next car you buy needs to be kept 8 years, because if you go from negative equity, go finance another car, not lease it, and then take out another 6-year loan, and then 3-4 years in, you're like, okay, I'm gonna switch again. Now more negative equity. Instead of 35, you're gonna be at like 7 or more. And then, oh, let's roll that over. And it's just a repetitive cycle of always having a car payment, never paying the car off, and always have it paying for your old car in your new car. Negative equity, the devil to your car deals. The bad credit for people with good credit. Stay out of it. Learn the lease. All right, y'all. Listen, we just hit the hour mark. Great job. Thanks for everybody who tapped in. I hope you got a lot of value out of this. Again, some of you who are like, Deshone, I need the blueprint. I want everything you teach step by step. Walk me through each play. My book is called 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's a digital book. It'll be in your inbox in literally 2 minutes. Go to my TikTok bio, use the 75% off link. Go there, you'll have it. But make sure as soon as you activate that link, Instagram too, you screenshot the thank you page. As soon as you pay, you get the thank you page has the book. You scroll down, it says click here to open your book. I also email you a copy, but I want you to have that support email just in case you type your email wrong or something and it's not there. You can get in touch with my support team so you can get your book immediately. YouTube, we have a link for you, as well as Facebook in the comments. Use the 75% off link. You won't pay the $97 price. But again, if you missed it, and that you was like, Deshone, I went there and that countdown is 0. It's back up to $97. It was a 30-minute offer, and I've been saying that for the last hour I've been on here. So it's still worth it at $97. There's no one who's going to get that book, use it, and be like, Deshone, that wasn't worth $97. You'll be like, Deshone, this is, I got a bunch of books on here. I'm going to end with this. I got a bunch of books on here. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I can't tell you if any of these books are actually saving me thousands of dollars. A couple. I got some good ones. Don't get me wrong. This will be a book, when you look at all the books you ever got, this will be top 3, guaranteed. Where you said, this book saved me more money than any other book that I own. Top 3. That's Cars from Home. And that's the standard we hold it to. It's already 5-star rated. And if you use it already, please go to Goodreads and add to the ratings. We love to see it. All right. I'll see y'all on the next stream. It's always a pleasure. God bless you. Keep winning. And make sure you send me your success stories by email. I want to see your car deals. All right. God bless. All right, we're live with car questions and answers right now. If you are car shopping, I want you to type a 1 in the comment. Right now, everyone's overpaying for cars. It is absolutely, it's crazy what I'm seeing right now. And as someone who spent 14 years in the car business, I cannot believe that people used to take car buying. People used to get okay deals. Back then, people weren't getting, hammered the way they're getting hammered now. But I see these deals. I get DMs all the time. People are sending me the prices they're paying, and I can't believe it, and I want to stop it. So what we'll be doing right now is making sure Anyone who's shopping for a car, I want you to start asking your question. We got our first question coming from TikTok. As you come in, share the broadcast with some, if you enjoy it, if you're enjoying what you're hearing as we talk over the next hour, tag someone in, because most likely one of the people that I'm talking about who's out here overpaying for cars is someone you know. So no, I guarantee you no one will ever be mad at you sharing my page with them. I don't tell jokes. I don't waste time. All we talk about is thousands of dollars and how to make sure you keep it in your pocket. This whole live will be sponsored by my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Everyone who types a 1 in the comment on Instagram and Facebook, I'm going to send you a link to get your copy at 75% off. Everyone on TikTok, you want your copy 75% off. It's an instant download. You go to my TikTok bio, you won't leave the broadcast. And everyone on YouTube, we have a comment pin for you so you can get your copy for 75% off. That's the blueprint. That's the guide. That's the step-by-step for leasing, purchasing, new cars, used cars, high mileage strategies, bad credit strategies, all step-by-step so that you can have the blueprint to make sure you're not one of these people out here that's overpaying. Okay, so first question came from Coral on TikTok. Will better incentives be coming out by December? You never know what incentives there are. People will lie to you about incentives. And in fact, when you walk into a dealership, if you ask them, do you have any incentives this month? What do you think they're going to say? Even if they don't have any, they're going to say yes. Because they're never going to say, no, we don't have any, come back next month. You'll never hear that. So how do we know what the real incentives are? And just so I can be clear, because I want to talk in a way for the most, even if we got high schoolers on here coming out of high school and want their first car, I want to talk in a way you can understand this. In fact, you might get this more than some of the adults who've been programmed a little harder because, you know, they've been doing the same thing for years. Incentives or rebates and low interest rates and anything the manufacturer puts on a car to help it sell more. So it could be a military rebate. It could be a conquest rebate. Conquest rebate is a rebate for a competitor's car you own. So if you're buying a Lincoln and you have a Jaguar, they might have a conquest rebate, a loyalty rebate, dealer cash, which is not a rebate. It's just literally cash that the dealers get to make deals with. It might be $1,000, $3,000 dealer cash. Federal rebates, we're seeing a lot of that with electric vehicles. There's no obligation for them to tell you about any of this stuff. If you go in there and you get a car and you didn't know any of this stuff existed, it's buyer beware. You lost. You don't get to sue anybody and say, wait, guys, I found out you guys had $7,000 in rebates you didn't tell me about. That's why it's our job to make sure we are getting the actual rebates. And how do we get it? We must shop multiple offers. Any car, and right now I'm talking to people. This is a new car and used. Some of the questions that we're going to get are going to be for new cars, leases. Some of them are going to be for used cars. This is a new car question. This is a lease question. Anytime you hear somebody really focusing on incentives, the only incentives you really get for used cars is if you're buying a certified used car, you might see a low interest rate. That's really one of the only incentives. A certified Honda might have a 1.9 interest rate. You're not going to see that. You're not going to see any rebates off a used car. But when it comes to new cars, oh my God, like I said, you could be $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 in rebates. In fact, Sean right here, check this out. Sean, who picked up his F-150 Lightning, I'm showing it on YouTube. So I know you guys on the other platforms can't see it, but on YouTube, Sean got an F-150 Lightning and the rebates totaled $15,500. When I worked for Mercedes, I sold a Maybach. It's actually called Maybach, but you know, most of you guys probably know it as Maybach. It had a $20,000 rebate on it. So if you come in there, somebody asked yesterday, we were live streaming, right? And the guy's like, how do I get them the invoice price? Invoice price, that's 2004 internet stuff. Without knowing that you're getting the biggest discount and all the rebates, you got nothing. And that's what you need to know. How do you do it? You got to realize 4 out of 5 dealers are going to lie to you. They're not going to tell you about all the rebates. They're not going to tell you about some of the rebates. They might say, hey, we don't have any rebate. And then later they'll bring them. The only way for you to get them is for you to get multiple offers so that you can see that. I always suggest 5 offers. I have a strategy in my book called the 25 to 5, where we connect with 25 dealers online. That gets us 5 offers. If you want to do it manually, you can pick up the phone, you can call, only ask for sales managers. Do not deal with salesmen if you are going to do this, because then you're going to be, I'm telling you, I spent 14 years in this business. Only if you're going to do it my way, you'll do it only by internet, no talking. If you're not getting the book, if you don't have my book, then you say, all right, I'm going to do it the manual way. Call, only speak to sales managers, or your life is going to be hell trying to get these offers. And you need to get at least 5, because as I said, once you get one offer and you be like, oh, wait, this person took off $1,000. That's their best offer. Then you get another offer. Wait, this person took off $3,000. That's their best offer. Oh, this person said it's $3,000 rebates and they took off another $3,000. They saved me $6,000. Oh, that's their best offer. Then you're going to start to see how people are out here overpaying, because they're not shopping multiple offers. They're getting one quote, going into their local dealer and saying, okay, do the best you can. And then they're signing just the deal, feeling, oh, I negotiated for 6 hours. This got to be a good deal. No, it's not. So you must, don't worry about what a day, Coral. Don't worry about, oh, the incentives will be good in December. Shop now, see what the incentives are now, and then shop them again next month and see if they change. And then in the holiday time, shop them again. But you're doing this by phone, or in my case, we do it by email. You're never going to be able to do this going into dealers. And I think for those of you if this is your first time on a broadcast with me, type first. First time you've ever been on a live stream with me, type first, because you may not be familiar with anything we teach here. Anything we teach here. And so this is going to be an unlearning process for you. I see you, Arlie. Good to see you. Okay, I see you, user 609. You don't have a name, so I see you, Nadine. Welcome. I see you, 357 Scene. I see you, I Spent Cinematic on Instagram. I see you, Just Too Blessed on Instagram. All right, well, type up everybody who's been with us for a while. I want you to type welcome to all the first-time people. I see you, Maurice Jenkins on YouTube. I see you, Libo on YouTube. Everybody who's been here before, you kind of know a little bit about the foundation, or you've been mastered this. Maybe you got cars using what we teach. Type a welcome to the first-time people, so we can let them know, welcome to the new way. Welcome to the new way. There's gonna be a lot of unlearning, but we're going to try to make it as comfortable as possible for you. But the major thing that you need to understand right up front is I teach a philosophy called cars from home, which means you can get your best offer, below market offers that no one else is getting. You can pay prices that no one else is paying without ever leaving your house. And in fact, the only way for you to guarantee that is to make deals from home, because this is where you're in control. This is where you can't let your emotions get out of control and make a bad decision. And this is where you can use the internet to talk to multiple dealers at one time and have them bid for your business. All right. Go ahead, Dolan. Everybody type your questions. We'll continue to get to them. Coral, I think you kind of got the premise of what we're, what you need to focus on first, which is, unlearning the waiting for incentives and shopping wide, talking to multiple dealers, and actually monitoring the incentives from month to month yourself. Okay, what's up, D? This is Maurice from YouTube. What's up, D? I want a pickup truck. I like the Chevy Silverado. Okay, I know you said not to lease a vehicle you like. Okay. When did I say that? I know you said not to lease a vehicle you like. So I'm getting confused on financing and leasing. Okay. Okay, let me be clear. I never said don't lease a vehicle you like. I know you hear a lot of stuff from me, and that could be you might have gotten confused somewhere. It's all good. Here's how who's ready to finally put the leasing versus buying to bed forever. If you're ready to put The leasing versus buying. All right, Deshone, I hear, should I lease or should I buy? If you just type ready. If you're like, you know what? I hear videos from you, Deshone. I hear people from, I never used to hear videos about leasing 3 years ago. Now all of a sudden everyone's talking about, hey, you should be considering leasing, ready to consider leasing. I love numbers. And I love making the numbers easy for you. If I can't make the numbers easy for you, then I can't do what I'm called to do. The easy way to know from now on, should I buy or lease a vehicle, is to ask yourself, how many years am I keeping the next vehicle? When you're considering a lease, you're considering how you're going to beat depreciation. I see y'all tapping the screen. Every time you hear something on TikTok you like, just double tap the screen and y'all keep running those likes up. I appreciate it. TikTok brings more people over here. And, you know, I appreciate you guys. You guys help this message spread. You need to ask yourself, this is the first question. In my book, some of you have it, my digital book, Cars from Home. The first question before anything, before what car I want, is how many years am I keeping the next car? Because when you are getting a depreciating asset, you have to look at it like this. Every time you buy a car, I want y'all to think about this. What is this, Deshone? This is depreciation. If you buy a car today for $40,000, how much is that car worth in how much is that car worth in 5 years? Throw some numbers out there. You buy a car today for $40,000 in 5 years, average miles, how much is that car worth? How much is that car worth? Throw some numbers. 22. That's a good estimate. That's a good estimate. 357 said 4,000. You're not losing that much unless you just bought trash. Now, there is something coming to electric car owners soon, and we'll talk about that. Remind me to talk about the huge warning I have for electric car owners before we end it. 20,000. Now, check this out. If you buy a car for 40 and it's worth 20, okay, that's good. That's half in 5 years. I think it's going to lose more than half in 5 years, quite honestly. But when you're getting your car, you're trying to ask yourself, how am I going to beat depreciation? How am I going to prevent having something that I tie up money in for 5 years and that money is just losing value every time? Now, the way you beat depreciation is to keep the car a long time. Who has a car outside right now that they've had it more than 8 years? Type me. You know, if you have that car more than 10 years or 8 years, 10 years, you're not worried about what it's worth. It's going to be worth the same next year, about the same next year as it is today. That means you beat the depreciation. That means your depreciation is no longer like this. It looks like this. Today, your car is worth $8,000. Next year, your car will be worth $7,500. You're not losing that much value. Now, if that's not you, Deshone, I don't keep a car that long. 8 years, are you kidding me? No way I'm keeping a car that long. You should be shopping for a lease. Because when you get a below market lease, let me show you what a below market lease looks like and why there's no comparison to a below market lease versus a person who's buying. I'll take a random deal. Let's take Rosalie's deal. Rosalie she just got an Infiniti. I'm showing it on YouTube. Y'all can't see it, but I'll spell it out for you. She just got a $60,000 Infiniti truck. She's paying $592 a month, no money down. She gave him $592, drove off. Now, she got that price by getting multiple offers like I teach. You're not going to walk into a dealer and get that price. She contacted dealers online, had multiple dealers submit offers. The best dealer came in at $592 for a $60,000 vehicle. That's what we consider a 1% lease or less. Major value is the 1% lease rule has been around for a long time. $592 a month for a $60,000 vehicle. On the opposite end, we got people going out buying that $60,000 vehicle. If they did no money down, that's a $1,200 payment. So it's not even close. And it comes down to depreciation. All you have to ask yourself is, am I going to shop for a car that I'm keeping more than 8 years? If so, I'm purchasing. Don't think about leasing. It's not even important. Don't even think. People say, Deshone, you think everyone should lease? Absolutely not. If you're somebody who has the discipline and values to keep a car 8+ years, you should not be leasing. You should be shopping for a below market purchase, new or used. But if you're not keeping a car 8 years, you are spending thousands of dollars more than a person who's getting great lease deals. It's not even close, thousands more every year. And they're driving better cars than you. So Maurice, the only question you need to know about leasing is, are you going to keep this Chevy Silverado 8 years or longer, or less than 8 years? If less than 8 years, you shop for a lease, brother. Okay? Go ahead, Dolan. Next question. That's the formula, guys. That is the first question you ask yourself. The buying versus leasing question. How am I going to beat depreciation? Nothing more important than that. Got to put your deal on the right foundation. Okay, this is 777 from TikTok. They repoed my car. Do I still have to pay for the remaining balance? Well, that's a credit situation. When they repo your car, it's going to end up on your credit, and until you settle that balance, it's going to be there as a repo, and it's going to hurt your credit more. So at some point, you're going to have to deal with that. It's not going anywhere. So what a lot of people, and I would tell you, everyone who's having credit issues, you should be following Shonda Martin, Road to 750 Plus on Instagram, on TikTok. She's on every platform, and she teaches. She's basically the me of credit. All she does live Q&As. She can, go rapid fire Q&A. And when someone can sit on a live and answer questions on the fly, like random questions, that's when you know they're an expert in their subject. And I've seen her do that dozens of times. So you should be following her to see how to deal with that repo in the best way. But for sure, it's not going anywhere until you handle it. Go ahead, Dolan. Next question. All right. This is called RAV4 EXL Premium versus CRV EXL. Which is better to negotiate discount with at a dealership? There's no way to know that. I know you want an easy way to see, which is going to give me the best discount. That's just not how it works. You have to shop the offers, and you have to see what the best offer is. If I'm shopping for a Honda, if I wanted a RAV4 EXL right now, I'm contacting dealers. I'm letting them know what I want. I'm reaching out to multiple dealers. I do it online. If you want to do it online, you can type the number 1 on Instagram or Facebook. I'll send you the discount link for my digital book, Cars from Home. You can use my scripts. All my email scripts, all my templates are in there, and you'll have the blueprint step by step. You can get your copy for 75% off in my TikTok bio or in the YouTube comments. If I was doing it manually, I'm calling and I'm getting multiple offers for this RAV4 EXL from multiple Toyota dealerships. And then I'll see, okay, the best Toyota dealer said they'll take off $4,000 from me. Okay, all right, cool. All right, now let me get the Honda deals done. So it's you don't know what it's going to be. Like give you an idea. This person, Kimberly here on her Maserati, she got a Maserati. She saved $20,000 off the price. I got the comment here. I got her post here that she posted with the details of her deal. $20,000 she saved on the price. She didn't know that she was going to save $20,000 on the Maserati. There's no way to know. You have to shop the offers, and this is why you can't feel for the bottom. You can't hope, I think we're at the bottom. I think this looks like it's good. No, you don't know that. You don't know how. You don't know. You just don't know. I know you're looking for an easy way to do it where you press a button, and it tells you this dealer here, this Honda dealer in Madison, New Jersey, is going to sell the Honda at the lowest price and give all the rebates. That'd be cool. It's not going to happen because no one dealer is going to always be the best anyway, or they'll be out of business. If you beat your competition every single time on every car, you're not making any money. You'll be out of business. So at the particular time you want to shop, the mission is to find the dealer who is going to sell you the car at the lowest price because every one of them is different. So that's what I would do. And if you use my way, you do it quick. When you're using online tools, you can do it quick. Look, Ansley got a car. He said right here, he got his what did Ansley get? He got an Infinity truck. He got a 2024 QX. He said, I started the process Saturday. I accepted a deal Monday. Got the car delivered on Thursday. One weekend. Started the process connecting with dealers on Saturday. Had offers coming in, accepted an offer on Monday. He got a 1% lease deal, $554 a month on a $58,000 vehicle. You can do this on new cars. You can do this on used cars. You have the internet as at your disposal. You just don't know how to use it. And you have you have two departments in car dealers. You have what I call the sales floor. That's who I used to work with, the sales floor. Then you have the internet sales department. The internet sales department is to try not to give you a price and to make people who are trying to shop online get frustrated so they eventually come in. That's the goal of the internet department. And you have to know that the reason why it's hard for you to get quotes online is because you don't know what to give a dealer to get quotes. You don't know, you got to give them your zip code so they can work the tax. You don't know, they need to know what vehicles are in your household. You're getting defensive. Hey, why are they asking me for this? Well, it's because they need this stuff. That's why in my templates, I give you this stuff. They need to know what cars are in your household. They need to know when your deadline is. They need to know what your zip code is. They need to know what credit they should assume. These are the things this is why, Deshone, I tried shopping online, but it was so hard. I know, because you don't know how to do it. And if you admit you don't know how to do it, then we can help. But without unlearning, without saying, you know what, I need to unlearn this stuff that I was taught, you're just going to keep repeating that. So that's why I'm bringing you this and showing you people who are just like you. You have to shop the offers. And once you do that and you learn how to do it in 90 minutes, you'll be like, oh, I can shop any offer I want. Any car I want, I can find out what the best offers are in 90 minutes. But we got to get you there. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up, brother. Unique Devo on Instagram. Car payoff 1 year. Should I trade it? 2015 still running. Well, it sounds to me like you want a new car. Look, the cost of replacement is expensive. If you're considering replacing your car, I always say it's always cheaper to keep it. It's always cheaper to keep it. If you can put, do you have a local mechanic? You should. Everyone who has a car, especially an older car, you should have a local mechanic. Why? Because a local mechanic is going to save you 50% off of what a dealership is going to go through. There's some people who religiously go to dealerships every time something on their car goes wrong or breaks. They go to the dealership. Even with engines. Yeah, Deshone, I put a new engine in and paid $10,000. Listen, local mechanics will actually save, they're worth their weight in gold. And so if I can keep my car running, that's what you want to consider. Now, you still owe money on this car. So you shouldn't be buying cars. You should be leasing cars. Because anyone who is replacing their cars while they still have a payoff should be leasing. That's a clear indicator. There's many indicators. I gave you one. If I'm not keeping the car 8 years, I should be shopping for a lease. If you historically replace your cars while they still have loans on them, you should be leasing, because you're paying all the time. You're never getting to what I call the reward stage, which is a paid off car that is not depreciating anymore, that's in your driveway. You can keep it. You can give it to a family member. It's just a dependable vehicle. You pay a little bit every year to keep it running, but you have hundreds of dollars every year that are thousands staying in your household because you don't have a car payment. That's the reward stage. You have to get there. And if you're like Deshone, I don't keep cars that long, then you are overspending and you should be leasing, paying low payments, cents on the dollar. My first lease, I paid $256 a month for it. $256 a month. I had a Pontiac G6, brand new car. I had a friend who was paying $500 a month. Bought a Toyota. Bought it. And that's cool. If I wasn't in the car business and if I didn't have my sales manager at the time say to me, hey, why don't you lease something? I wouldn't have known. I probably would have went and bought something too. But once I saw that, I'm like, wait, I'm paying half the price of my peers. I'm driving a brand new car, and it just kept going. I leased after that, I bought a Pontiac G6. I kept that for 6 years. I didn't know about the 8-year rule at the time. I bought it 6, 7 years. Then I leased a Infinity Q. I got the G25. It was $325 a month. That was my best offer at the time. That was a $35,000 vehicle. Then I got an Infinity Q50 when they first came out. That was a $44,000 vehicle. I paid $345 a month. Then I got another Q. I had three Q50s in a row. The next one was $365, and then the highest one went up to $390. I want to say $390. So yeah, $390. I never went over $400 a month. These are $45,000 vehicles. Then I got a Jeep Grand Cherokee 2018, $35,000 vehicle, $330 a month. They're lying to you. Like all of this stuff that they're programming you to, leasing is renting a car. Banks don't buy cars. Pay attention to what I'm saying here. Banks don't want cars on their books. Why don't banks want cars on their books? Because they're depreciating. And look, let's address this. Rick just said on TikTok, but leasing a vehicle only gives you minimal mileage. You pick the mileage on a lease, Rick. You pick the mileage, brother. Hold on. Turn off this. You pick the mileage. Let's get into some real misconceptions about this whole leasing thing. They give you the mileage. Anytime you've ever heard of somebody going over their mileage, if it wasn't a life change situation, like, I used to live close and then I now live far, it's because they wanted to save $20 a month. The payment for 10,000 miles a year was $380. The payment for 12,000 miles a year was $405. They said, you know what, give me the $380. And then get ridiculous. If I go over, I'll just buy the car. Horrible. Why would you buy a car that is not meant to be bought? When you look at the price to buy a lease out, it's not meant to be bought. They don't want you to buy it. They want you to give it back to them so that they can sell it as a pre-owned car. So they say, bring this car back in 3 years, have 30,000 miles on it. You can buy it. You go over by 10,000 miles and then you buy it for the same price. It's just horrible. But it goes back to the fact you didn't pick the right mileage. The difference from 12,000 to 15,000 miles a year is $25, $30 a month. So when you're sitting there and saying, shoot, all right, give me the 12,000, knowing you drive 14,000 miles a year, you just ruined your lease experience. Don't blame the lease. Don't blame the lease. We have high mileage drivers getting leases. First dude that I ever saw with a high mileage lease is when I was a manager at Hyundai. He brought his car back, had 75,000 miles on it, like 72. I said, you lease this? He said, yeah, man, I don't buy cars. I don't keep them. I bring them back. I'm in sales. I'm on the road. Man, I pay my payment. I bring them back in 3 years, get me another one. I said, this is interesting. Because the dealerships didn't teach me this. My customers taught me this. My customers' experience taught me these things. I said, whoa, high mileage lease. I saw his payment. This dude was only paying $175 more a month than a normal car payment. $175 more a month, and he gets to drive 25,000 miles a year. But had he bought his car, he'd come in with 10,000, 12,000 negative equity. So, high mileage drivers, if there's high mileage drivers on here, you guys can ask questions specifically about leasing for you, and we'll talk to you. But man, I'm shouting from the hills and showing people proof that you cannot get a good deal if you buy your car, but you should have leased. People out here driving. We're out here driving cars, brand new cars for hundreds a month less than you. Because someone talked you into buying and said, well, but they're renting those cars. Yeah, all right. Okay. All right. I've been renting cars then for the last 20 years of my life, driving brand new cars and keeping a lot of money in my household when other people are putting them into new and used cars. Okay. Yeah, I'll keep renting it. Go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up, brother. Quintel Jameson on YouTube. Can you talk about the best process for turning in a lease and getting a new lease? First thing you want to do is do an equity assessment. Do you have any money you can make on that lease? Step 2 in my book, after we decide whether we're going to buy a lease, you already decided you want a new lease, so you check off step 1. Second step is, do I have equity in my lease? All through the pandemic, we had people selling leases. I helped hundreds of people that I know about sell leases for $7,000 to $10,000 to $12,000. A lot of them you can see in my older videos. They say, yo, man, you helped me make 7 grand. Yo, I sold 2 leases. I made 15 grand. My mother sold her lease. She made 10 grand. I sold my Jeep Grand Cherokee lease. I made $9,000 back then. But that's when all the resale values were high. So so we're not making that much anymore, but there's still an opportunity to have equity. And if you drop off your lease without doing an equity check, then you literally are giving money to the dealer. We have to do it. And here's how you do it. You call your bank, you ask them what your payoff is. Once you get your payoff, then you call and you go to these 6 websites. You do this in 20 minutes. Go to Carvana.com, go to CarMax.com, go to Driveway, go to KBB Instant Cash Offer. That's going to connect you with a local dealer online to put a price on your car. All of this stuff is instant. And these are all companies that you go to, you look at they look at your car, they say, okay, looks good. They go to the accounting office, they come back and give you a check. It's that simple. AutoNation and Car Gurus, we get 6 offers because everything we do is a bid. Like in the Cars from Home way of getting cars, the way we guarantee we got all the money and we saved all the money and we paid less than everyone is we get bids. Online systems allow you to get bids. When you shop on Amazon, that's a bidding system. That's a bidding system. The real estate market at large is a bidding system. They use competition to create the price. The only industry that doesn't is the car industry, but we do it. Cars from Home, we do it. So you're going to get those 6 offers and you're going to see, can I break even selling this car? Can I make $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 selling this car or more? Some of you have a lease and you didn't drive that much. Deshone, I had the lease. I only put 5,000 miles on it. You should be selling that lease and putting some money in your pocket before you go into your next lease. So, I know there's a lot of people on here. You might have didn't know you could sell a lease. Type a question mark if you didn't know that you could sell a lease. Sean, I never even knew I could sell a lease. Type a question mark. Type a question mark. First thing we ever do before we return a lease, because we are not going to depend on a dealer. I see you, Stephen Romero. Thank you for being honest. I see you, Jason Wilson. If you didn't know you could sell a lease, how much does that cost you? How much does that cost you already? I see you, Rick. Shout out to the people being. I see you, Stino. Cat Mom. I see you, Quintel. Yeah. So what we do before I will never return a lease, and we do this about 6 months out before the lease is up. We do this equity assessment. It's the second step in my process. All of this is in my book. If you guys want if you're like, Deshone, I want the blueprint. Give me the step-by-step. That's my new digital book, Cars from Home. Anyone on Instagram, you comment 1, I'll send you the link to get it for 75% off. If you download it immediately, you could be reading it today, using it, getting a car next week. Same thing on Facebook. Type the number 1. I'll DM you a link to get it at 75% off. And if you're on TikTok, go to my TikTok bio. Now, this is only for 30 minutes. This is a welcome offer for my new book. This isn't like, oh, we don't, just 75% off. This is what I do as a welcome offer for everyone to give you an opportunity. You won't pay the normal $97 price for the book. You'll get 75% off of that. And you'll have the strategy step by step. And on YouTube, we have a comment pinned for you. So you want to get your payoff. But now, very important, Quintiel, when you go on those websites I just mentioned, those 6 websites to get those offers, when they ask you, do you own the vehicle? Are you leasing it? Or are you financing it? Just type own. You want to know, what would you pay for the vehicle? When you call your bank, you're going to ask them, do I have a third-party restriction? So you're going to get your payoff. You're going to ask them, do I have a third-party restriction? If they say no, that means you can sell direct to the highest bidder. If they say no, there's no restriction on who you can, you can literally sell directly to them and get your check. If they say you do, and there are companies like Toyota, Chase, there's a couple leasing companies that don't have third-party restrictions. But if they say you do, now you can't sell direct to those people. You can sell direct to a dealer that makes the same brand. So if Honda has a third-party restriction, you can sell to a Honda dealer. And that's when we have conversations with a used car manager. Again, we don't talk to salespeople, y'all. We don't talk to salespeople. They're here to make your life hard because they're trying to fight for their money. and it's all good. I give you ways to, that's why the book is called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. You need to avoid dealerships. When you're in a battle, a sparring battle with a dealership or a salesman, you're going to lose. It's a psychological war, and they do it 3-4 times a day. You do it 3 times, you do it 1 time every 3 years. So when the way I'm teaching you to do it, I'm never sending you to do battle with these people. So if you have a third-party restriction, we're now calling local dealers asking for the used car manager. We're getting offers from them, and then we're going to sell our car direct to them. And that's how we're going to get our equity out. That's if we have equity. That's the equity assessment process. That's how some of you are like going to pick up, that one strategy alone is going to pick up $2,000-$3,000 for some of you. Everyone doesn't have equity. But if you didn't know about equity, just that one strategy is going to pick up $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 for some of you. And over the course of your lifetime leasing cars, that's going to be worth more than that. Because some of your cars will have equity, and some of them have a lot of equity, and some of them have no equity. But if you don't know about it, every single car that you give back to a dealership, you just gave them $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. And then you wonder why they say, good news, we got this deal done for you. You don't even have to put any money down. Yeah, because they're using the money from your old car. So once you assess your equity, that's when we go into shopping for the new car. We got to see if we have equity first before we think about shopping for our new car. That's step 1. Okay? Do that before anything. All right, Dolan, cue the next one out. See, I'm not going to give her, if y'all notice, I'm not going to give her the whole playbook. Why? Just to confuse her? I'm not going to tell her, oh, once you do this, then go do this, then go do this. And then when you check your car, this is how you do your test drives. And this is how you make sure. And then this is how you, why would I do that? I like step by step. Does that make sense? Type the light bulb emoji if you're on a cell phone. Type the light bulb emoji if that makes sense. Why would I give her what to do at step 5? She hasn't done step 2 yet. Get your equity, Quintiel. Find out if you have equity first. Do that exercise that I just said, and then come back and we'll talk about the next step. You come back and say, Deshone, I did it. I don't have equity. Perfect. Now let's move to the next step. Deshone, I did it. Good news. I have $3,000 of equity. Perfect. Now let's move to the next step. Okay. Go ahead, Olin. All right, so here we go. This is Selly H20 from Instagram. My vehicle was totaled this week. Sorry to hear that. Hope you're all right. I'm going to the dealer today. What should I know? The dealer today, there's 17,000 new car dealers in this country, 100,000 used car dealers. Every dealer has a different price. So you're going into what is the benefit to you of going into the dealer? You think, oh, well, I'm sold on my car. The best thing you can do right now is ask yourself the first question. Are you keeping your next car 8 years or not? Are you keeping Selly H on Instagram? Are you keeping the next car you're getting 8+ years or no? Let me know. This is Selly on Instagram. This is the first question. I want to give her time to ask. See, car buying, to pay the prices that you want to pay. It's not one step. It's not just give me this one jumbo step. No, it's a series of steps. It's a series of steps. And I think we live in a world right now that has programmed people to think, oh, I'm going to microwave my way to this whole car deal. Put it in the microwave and somehow I'm going to come out and pay less than everyone else. That's not how it works. You try that, you're going to pay more than everyone else, like all of these people out here who 9 out of 10 people going into a car dealership. If I was able to say, hey, how you doing? I see you just got your car. How you doing? My name is Deshone. They call me Deshone the Auto Advisor. You mind if I take a look at your car deal? You mind if I just take a look at your paperwork? Sure. 9 out of 10 people, I would say, all right, let me ask you a question. If I bet you $1,000 right now that in 48 hours I could find a deal way better than this that you just paid for, this contract that has your name on it, this is your monthly payment, this is how much you just gave them. Would you bet me $1,000 I can't find a deal way better than this? Not even close, thousands less than this. Most people are not taking the bet. And that's because they don't have confidence in their car deal. There's nothing else in life that you do this with. There's nothing else. You will never start a business and be like, oh, I started this business. Me and my family put up 50 grand for it, and be like, all right, well, did you do your due diligence? Did you, you would be like, yeah, we got an attorney. We did some consult. We took our time. It was a big decision for us. But a car, same 50,000. I'm going to go into the deal. Oh, and I want to make that deal today. It's programming. That's why I represent the unlearn, relearn brand, because I found when I first started teaching this, if people weren't willing to unlearn, those are the people I couldn't help. But the people who, they text me, unlearning. If you're unlearning, type the letter U, unlearning. This stuff is programming. And so I want you to really get out of that programming and realize that your safety is right at home. If you realize that everything that is going to save you money on your next car is right here in your living room, it's right in your office while you're at work. If you're traveling and you got an internet connection and you're like, man, I can make a deal from the airport. That's what it's about. The place you do not want to be is in the dealership trying to make a deal. There's no leverage there. There's no ability for you to shop competition there. And that's where everyone is overpaying at. Okay, we just talked about, Brandy, how to assess equity. If you're on YouTube, you can jump on it, watch the replay, or on the replay on Facebook. The only place the replay doesn't get posted is TikTok, but on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, you can see the replay. We went over how to do the equity assessment, how to call your bank, how to go on the websites, what to put on the websites to see if you have equity in 20 minutes. It literally takes 20 minutes to get those 6 offers. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next one up. Steven Romero from TikTok, shopping through Carvana. Carvana is one marketplace. That's all it is. Carvana, I know Carvana is, oh, you don't have to see, the reason Carvana wins is because people are scared of dealerships. There's no other reason than that. Carvana has historically paid more, especially throughout the pandemic. They were paying more to buy cars than anyone else. So let me ask everybody on here a question. We got at least, we got a good number of people on here. Let me ask, got some intelligent people. If you are paying more than anyone to buy cars, when you sell those cars, are you going to be higher or lower than anyone? If you're paying more than everyone, you're paying more than dealerships to buy cars. Everyone was selling their cars to Carvana, selling their cars to CarMax. If you are paying more than everyone else to get your inventory, when you sell your inventory, is it going to be higher or lower than everyone else? Exactly. Higher. Exactly. But how do they do this then? They do this because people are scared of dealerships. So they would pay more just to be able to say, thank God I didn't have to go to a dealership. Man, I saw my car come down that vending machine, and then I saw that car pull up to my house on the Carvana flatbed, and you just overpaid $5,000 for that car. They charge you for their service. Hey, to avoid going to a dealership, listen, we're not giving you the best price, but we are giving you the best experience. In our case, there's tons of dealers who will deliver a car to you. There's tons of dealers who you can have the same experience with. Every time we get a car, we have the same Carvana experience. My experience, the people who, look, everybody who you're going to see me go after right now, and if you hop on YouTube, you'll see this. Look, Tosha's experience, just like Carvana, did it from home. Look, Vincent got his used car, 43% off, 3-year-old Lincoln, 43% off the original price. Got it on, got it from home. Look, Ansley, we already went over Ansley. Sean saved 20 grand on his F-150 from home. That's a Carvana experience. Look, Rosalie, we already talked about her. Carvana experience. Look, Jen got her Subaru, leased it from home. You can give yourself the Carvana experience without paying the Carvana price. And when you're shopping for a used car, Carvana is just one marketplace. You also need to open up CarMax, Driveway. In my book, I have what's called the multiple marketplace strategy. The way you shop for used cars, the way we shop for them, is different than the way we shop for new cars. New cars, we use a strategy called the 25 to 5. That's when we reach out to 25 dealers. So we're shopping for a Toyota. We're going to reach out to 25 Toyota dealers online. We do this in 20 minutes. We send them our templates. All of that is in my book. It's a digital book. You copy and paste my template. So you do need to be able to copy and paste. Let me preface that. Do not get my book if you're not familiar with copying and pasting and emailing. I got to preface that. I know people, Deshone, isn't everybody good with that now? No, everyone's not good with that. I've been doing this for 3 years now. I know everyone is not able to copy and paste and just send emails. You know, everyone, that's just, so I have to preface that. But that's how we reach out to new car dealers. We're going to reach out to them for leases and for new cars online using scripts, and we're going to get 5 offers with the scripts. With used cars, it's totally different. We're not reaching out to 25 dealers. Every dealer has their inventory on a marketplace. If they don't have their inventory on a marketplace, do not shop for it. Don't talk to them about it. If they don't have that inventory in a place where it's in a competitive environment, I don't want to talk about it. Who saw the video when I was in the car dealership and I said, this is a used car, it doesn't have a price on it. I was in the car dealership and I said, look, anytime you see a used car, if it doesn't have a price on it, you know, don't negotiate on it. If you saw that, type I saw it. Whenever someone is not putting a price on a vehicle for any reason, it's because they want to make the price up and negotiate down. So let's just say I'm a slimy dealer. Let's say I got a $40,000 car. It was $40,000. I was at a dealership yesterday. We made a commercial about a dealership, and I looked in the car. It was a used car. It was a 2018. It had, the only price it had on it was the original price of the car. So it had literally, it was around a $40-something thousand car. It didn't have a used car ticket, $22,000, nothing like that. So it had a $40,000, and it had all the stuff that was in the car, original. But it's a 2018. So what happens when a person says, hey, how much you want for that car? And there's no internet that they're comparing that to. They're going right on there and just saying, okay, that person has a great opportunity to make up a price and say, well, you know, we're asking $24,000 for it, but you know, our asking price is $24,000. Oh man, that sounds a little high though. You know, it's 2018. You know, you can't do no better than that. You know, I mean, what you have in mind? You know, I'm trying to be around 20. You know, I'm thinking closer to 20. Then I don't know if I could get to 20. I might be able to to see if maybe we could like split it, go up the middle, you know, between, you know, like around 22, something like that. Why don't we take the car for a ride? Let's see if you like the car. You're already in the mouth of the snake. You are literally a mouse in the viper's mouth. Once you've already agreed to talk about a car that doesn't have a price on it, you're done. Because let's just say if that same dealer had to list that car online, that car might have been listed for $18,000. But because you walked in and started talking about it and say, hey, well, you know, what do you think? This is how people leave happy. Man, you know, let me ask you, honey, you get home with your wife, like, you think you got a good deal on this? I think so. I think the guy worked with me because, you know, they said they was asking 24. And you know, I went in there and you know, we made a deal about 22, a little under 22. He took off 2,000 from me. No, he didn't. There was no real price. So this is why you want to be on marketplaces where all the prices are listed. Cars.com, cargurus.com, carfax.com, carmax.com, carvana.com. That's one of them. 8 market, eBay Motors, one more, Driveway. So there's 8 marketplaces, 8 major marketplaces. And you want to sit back and shop for your car like you be shopping for a TV on Amazon. And you'll realize once you start doing this, you'll see The same car that was at my neighborhood dealer that I liked, there's 50 of them within 100 miles of me. There's 50 of them. In fact, once I pull a Carfax, I'll see that one didn't even have a good Carfax, the one I was looking at. That one didn't even have the service records that I want to see. These are the things, this is why shopping marketplaces make sense. You want to shop, I talk about this all the time. It's called my multiple marketplace strategy. I made videos about it. I've been posting about this since I came to social media. Marketplaces. And again, the only people who are going to win with this are people that's locked in. People who are serious about saving their money, who take car buying serious. Everybody who like Deshone, this sounds harder. What, you want to go in the dealership and just go ahead and let them just work you a deal? God bless you. This is not for everybody. I know this. This is for the people who like Deshone. I want to make sure, and it's easy. All the people who you see me showing you, Jared, all of these people that's posting their cars, Teddy, if you're on YouTube, you can see this stuff. These people are never going back to the old way of shopping. We are never going back because this is so much easier. And once you get it and be like, man, shopping online is a million times easier. I don't have the anxiety and there's nobody pressuring me. Oh, all of these people are competing, sending me emails. Hey, can we do this? Hey, what if I get to this? What if I get to... They're never going back. And that's the world I want you to come to. I want you to unlearn that old world, come over to the new world. Go ahead, Dola, shoot the next one up. I think we hammered that point home because we get that question probably every day. Carvana, something about almost every stream, somebody says, hey, what about Carvana? It's one marketplace. And they're 99% of the time, Carvana is going to be the highest price for any car you're looking for. 99%, not 100, not 100. 99%. RL, looking to finance a Toyota 2025 Camry. Should I purchase the extended warranty? It's a great question. RL said he's looking to purchase a 2025 Camry. Should he purchase the extended warranty? So a warranty is a risk product. It's risk assessment. I might buy something and I don't use it. The key to understanding if you should get a warranty is to ask yourself, how expensive is it to fix this car? And does this car have a high likelihood of things going wrong? Give you an example, a Toyota, Honda, as long as you get a good one, and in his case, he's purchasing a new one, they have a history of inexpensive maintenance, and they have a history of things not going wrong. I wouldn't get a Toyota extended warranty. Why? Because the $1,800 or $1,500 or $2,000 I'm going to pay, I have to get that money back and then some to make it work, to make it worth it. That means $3,000 of things need to break on that Toyota for that warranty to have made sense for me to get. Now, on the other hand, when I work with Mercedes, some of you know I worked with Mercedes for 5 years. Every time I would have a client who was getting a Mercedes, I would ask them, how many years you keeping the car? If they said they were keeping it a long time and they weren't going to lease, then I would tell them after we made the deal, buy as much warranty as you can afford. That was and some of my clients in New Jersey, they can attest to that. I was very unapologetic about it. Buy as much warranty as you can afford. Because when something breaks on a Mercedes-Benz, nothing is less than 4 digits. There is no, oh, this broke. It's only going to cost us $400 to fix. Nope. So the price of the extended warranty on a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW or a Porsche or anything that has a high, and I have this, we handle this in my book in step 6. This is in the paperwork and protection step. Everything is accounted for. So everything on this stream I'm teaching is out of my book. It's everything. So when we're looking at, and where does this vehicle rank in terms of repair costs? Is it on the higher side? If so, the warranty makes more sense to get. If it's on the lower side, warranty makes very little financial sense to get. And that's how we gauge getting extended warranty. It's a risk assessment. All right, good question though. Very good question. All right, go ahead, Dolan. Shoot the next one up. Too Cool 09 from TikTok. Should I buy or lease a vehicle through my LLC or through myself, or does it matter? This sounds like you don't have a business where the actual car is being used. If you, a realtor, for an example, and could y'all double tap, keep double tapping the screen, keep running those likes up. I appreciate y'all on TikTok. Every time y'all double tap the screen, y'all run the likes up and keep them moving. TikTok continues to tell people about the broadcast. And shout out to the sharers. I appreciate you. Matter of fact, I got to jump off of here because what I'm going to do is, no, I'm not going to jump off now, but I have to do something. Somebody who shared yesterday, I got to go to my DM and I got to send her, I'm literally just talking notes to myself. Okay, so big talk about buying in LLCs lately. Big talks. You know, you see videos about it, get caught through your LLC. There's going to be tons of people audited who had cars in their LLC, writing certain things off and are not using the car for business. It's going to be very, very bad. It's coming because the IRS may come later, but they come. When they see, okay, we see people getting all these cars, they know the social media videos and people just putting cars in the LLC. If you are a realtor, for an example, when I was with the dealerships, I dealt with a lot of realtors. Came in, put cars in the LLCs. Why? Because they're on the road. They're using the car for business. They're writing off certain things, be it the maintenance, be it the repairs, or they're writing these things off. Why? Because it's actually business being done with the car. On the opposite end, you have people who have no business at all that involves that car. They're not traveling with that car to clients' houses. They're not doing it, but they want to buy the car and they want to write off tons of stuff or have some type of tax advantage. And now, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an accountant, I'm not giving you tax advice. I would just tell you that if your business does not involve a car or travel, I'm not going to ever tell you to put a car in an LLC name. Now, you talk to your accountant about that, talk to who does your taxes, but that's really the basis of if I should get a car in my LLC or not. Does my business do business with a car? That's it. And after that, you decide, how long am I going to keep the car? Then it goes back to the most important question. How many years am I going to keep the car? 8 or more, I'm going to buy. Less than 8, I'm going to lease. That's it. That's it. A lot of audits are coming. I'm telling you. You see the PPP loans. It took a while, but people are going to jail now. It's going to be the same way with these cars. People are not going to be able to pay some of these people getting Range Rovers. Yo, hey, I see you. You got this Range Rover. You wrote off like huge amount. Let me tell you, how much business was done in this car? Oh well, it's going to be it's going to be bad. That's why financial literacy is important, people. Okay, so all of this is out of my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. I can sit here all day for the next 2-3 hours talking about the strategies we use, the process we use, the system I created to help all of these people that I've been talking about in the broadcast save this money. You can see these deals, and some of you are going to go and you'll see, wow, I got that same car. I got to hit you with the bad news first. The bad news is, hey, Rodney Brown, I'm sorry to tell you, my man, but the same car you have, we just helped somebody get it and look what they paid. Dang, they paying a lot more than me. They put money down? No, they didn't put any money down. How they paying that low? It's because they know stuff you don't. They followed a process that you didn't follow. You went into the second most expensive purchase that you're ever going to make, and you just winged it. You just say, hey, you know what? It's a $50,000 car. It's a $40,000, $30,000 car, $100,000. I'm just going, I think I can feel my way through this joint. That's why you're paying the prices you're paying. That's why you're not paying what we're paying. So when you come into our world and you're like, Deshone, I want the blueprint. Everything I teach is in my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. So type of number 1. On Facebook, I'll send you the discount link. You can get the 75% off. Type the number 1 on Instagram. I'll send you the discount link. 75% off. That's our welcome offer. It's only for 30 minutes. And if you're on TikTok, go to my TikTok bio, get your copy for 75% off. And on YouTube, we have the comment pinned for you in the comment section for you to get yours at 75% off. And make sure you are reporting to me your deals, just like Tiffany. Tiffany, when she got the book, I tell everybody, send me your deals so that I can read them on the show. Tiffany got a Mazda CX-90, just got it, $44,820 car. From home, she said, I believe we got a great deal from what we learned in the book. Look, from home, $6,530.78 discount. Never left the house. Got multiple offers. The dealer that took, look, is a $44,000 car. She basically said, what, 15%, 16% off then that? People go in and say, hey, get me the MSR, get me the invoice price. She blew invoice price away using the book. Get your copy. It'll be in your inbox now. Make sure as soon as you purchase, you screenshot the thank you page. I tell you, you'll see it big. Screenshot this page. Why? There's a support email on there just in case for any reason you don't get the book. It's usually because you type a letter wrong in your email. You're typing fast. You can reach out to my support team to make sure that you get your book. I want you reading it now. I want you using it now so that you can be like Ansley. He said, look, I started the process on, I started the process on Saturday. I accepted the deal Monday. Doesn't take long. Doesn't take long. You can literally be signing a below market deal in 3 days using the strategies. These are not meant to, this isn't going to school. You know, I spend a lot of time in these videos warning you what not to do. In my book, I'm not warning you what not to do. I'm telling you what to do. Do this, do this. Now, all right, you did that. Great. Now do this. Oh, great. Now you did. Now do this. And before you know it, great. Congratulations. Let's get ready for delivery. That's how the book is laid out. All right, so we're gonna jump off. We've been on here for a little over an hour. I know it's early. You'll be able to watch this throughout the broadcast. You know, I can't really answer. Look, I could give y'all BS answers, and I can get through 100 questions. If I give you BS answers, I can zip through 100 questions in 1 hour. Do Lexus give good deals? Well, sometimes got to shop around. Next question. Is there any negotiation on leases as far as monthly payments without putting money down? Absolutely. We get our deals with no money down. That's how we submit our offers. You get at least 5 offers and you'll find out what the best deal is. Absolutely negotiate. Next question. I could do that. Is that what y'all want? Let me know. What I do is if someone asks me a question, I go deep on the answer because this is car buying. This is not, this isn't, hey, I'm going to get a little, you know, I'm about to spend $100, you know, what's your opinion on this, Deshone? You know? So I think from what I know about people, I think you guys appreciate Deshone. Break it down for me. Break it down for me. And if you want more, if you want all the answers, get your copy of Cars from Home and you'll have all the answers. But I like to be thorough. And I can't because all I care about is the result. I don't care about I care about people writing me, Deshone, check this out. Look at my deal. Look at what I just pulled away. I want you writing me, emailing me, proud of your deal. I don't want you running into me one day if you're ever around New Jersey, New York. Hey, Deshone, hey, what's going on, man? Hey, man, I follow you. Oh, man, I used your stuff, bro, man. Oh, cool, man. How'd you do? Yeah, I think I did all right. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Because everyone that learns from me, oh, man, I have people run up to me. I never shopped like this before. I had all of these dealers, and then the lowest dealer took off all this money. That's the one I went with. That's a person that I know. Congratulations. Great job. You listened. You trusted the process. I care about the result. And that's all I want. I want you to enjoy car shopping. I want you, it's 50, 100 grand, 5, 6 figures of your money. You deserve to enjoy it, and you deserve to pay less than everyone else is paying. That's what I'm here to do. So I'll see everybody who has the book. I'll see you inside. Use it. You'll see I link to a couple videos in there. You'll see it's some surprises in there. That's not a traditional book. There's links to videos. I got links to scripts in there. You'll see. You'll see why it's a digital book. And it's a one-time purchase. Anytime something gets updated, like Vroom went out of business a couple months ago, they used to be in our strategies. They were in our marketplaces when we shop for used cars. Vroom was on that list. And they were in the when we do our equity assessment, Vroom was on the buyers list. If I had mailed out a book, if y'all were buying a physical book for for these strategies, that means now I got to make another book, and then I got to say, all right, guys, well, this is edition 2. That was edition 1. Vroom's out of business. Next thing you know, you're getting edition 40, and you're like, dang, every time a new website comes out, because we do online, dang, I got to buy another book. Nope. With Cars from Home, what we did, soon as Vroom went out of business, I went in, I updated the master file, uploaded it, all the thousands of people that have the book, and about 9,000 people have the book right now. So this is, you can go on Goodreads, you could type in the Cars from Home book online, you'll see, oh shoot, this book is out there. It's already 5-star rated. So this is what it's about. Results. Grab your copy in my Instagram bio or my Facebook bio, or everybody that types the number 1 on Facebook, I'll DM you the link exactly to get this discounted price. Everyone on TikTok, you go to my TikTok bio, click that website, and get your 75% off. And then on YouTube, we have it pinned in the comments. So use this stuff, win with it, write me with your deals, y'all. Stop overpaying. You don't want to be like these people out here. You don't. They're getting hammered right now. They think there's no deal. Oh, when is the market going to get better? It's never going to get better for them. It's never. They're going to keep doing the same thing. And it's sad, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Let's get you to paying less than everyone else. All right. So I'm gonna jump off, y'all. Have a great day. We'll be back for another stream, sometime next week. I'll see you soon. Just hit that. Just take us live. All right, we're live on. We're about to talk some serious car questions and answers. I want you to ask any question you can think of concerning car shopping, so that we can dig deep into it. It looks like Facebook we continue to have trouble with, and I think it's because we already have a stream going there. See if you can get out of that stream, Dolan, if you can cancel that stream so that we can get on the Facebook. But I want you guys to start asking your questions. And Dolan, bring the first question in so we could get the show on the road. And then what we'll do is we can check the back end and try to delete the broadcast from Facebook so that we can get on Facebook. Okay, this is Sam from TikTok. So there's a car for $7,000. I want to sell my car worth $12,000. Can you explain that? Well, who are you selling your car to? If you say it's worth $12,000, then all right. We only get offers to find out what our car is worth. We don't use algorithm sites because that's worthless. An algorithm site is a site like Kelly's Blue Book. You punch in your year, make, model, and in 3 seconds it tells you your vehicle's worth $12,000. Right now, we have companies that bid against each other. And what you want to do is you want to go on your computer, go to CarMax.com, go to Driveway.com, go to Carvana.com, go to AutoNation.com, go to Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer.com, and go to Car Gurus. All of them will connect you to somebody or some major buyer who pays cash for cars immediately. Literally, quick inspection, drop your check, and you're on to you literally, it's that simple. We are no longer at the mercy of private owners who are going to come by and look at our car and no one buy it and talk us down. There are extremely competitive buyers in the market that I've been telling people about since 2021 when we were cashing out. I was big on telling you guys during 2021 to 2023, during that whole pandemic run, cash out now, because the values of those vehicles will never see them again. So there are some people who cashed out, but that was also the beginning of showing people that you can sell to what is called institutional car buyers. And that is what stopped people from trading their cars. There are people who have learned from me, and maybe other people have mentioned this, that will never trade a car again because you're not getting the money that it's worth. So you go to those 6 companies, Sam, it should take you no more than 20 minutes. They're going to give you their best cash offers. And then you can sell to them and you can go buy something else. But what I want you to get in the habit of doing, everybody, is separating your transactions. What does that mean? Who you sell your car to is different than who you buy a car from. And you need to maximize each transaction. And you're never going to do that mixing all your transactions together, which is what most people do. They go into a dealer and they say, hey, I want to buy a car from you, and I want to trade my car into you, and I need a loan. 3 transactions. We don't do that. We separate them and we bid each one out using online tools. And that's how we get the prices we get. And that's how we pay less than everyone else. Okay. So the biggest thing, first thing, is go to those 6 websites: CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, KBB, Instant Cash Offer, AutoNation. And all of you who want to find out what your car is really worth, you go to these 6 websites, get your 6 offers, and then you'll find out what your car is really worth. We do not depend on any dealer to tell us what our car is worth at all. Okay? Shoot the next question up, Dolan. And you guys can continue to type your questions. We're bringing them in from all platforms. This is Terrell Taylor. By the way, everything that I'm talking to you guys about is out of my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Some of you may have it. If you have it, shout out to those who have it, and shout out to those who've used it to actually pay less than everyone else. And make sure I want you to be like Tiffany. Send me your deals. Send me your deals. When you get your cars, I want you to actually send me the results. Look, this is, oh no, that's not Tiffany. That's someone else who used the book. Look, used the book, got $175 a month less than her first quotes before she used the book. So send me, but you can get a copy of this book immediately for 75% off. It's normally $97. Go to my TikTok bio. You won't leave the broadcast, and you can have the entire blueprint. If you don't want to try to remember everything I'll be teaching you over the next hour, you can have the blueprint. You won't pay the $75. You'll get the 75% off. And we also have a comment pinned in the comment section for you guys on YouTube and on Facebook and on Instagram. You go to my bio. So anyway, go get it, because it's only for 30 minutes. After the timer goes off, it's $97. It's still worth every penny. You can Google it. 5-star book. You can see all the people who rated it, all the people who's using it. This isn't a test to do, but I want you to get it at 75% off. It's better to pay $24 than $97. Okay, Terrell Taylor. So you said, Terrell Taylor on YouTube said, I have $35,000 to $40,000 to buy a truck with. Should I buy a used or a late model new, 2022 to 24? So whenever we're considering a late model used car, this is a model like Terrell said, that is 1 to 2 years old. Let me tell you why I don't like shopping for those first. I like to shop for a new price first. Whenever you are buying 1 or 2 year old used vehicles, you have to realize something. How do dealers get used cars? Trade, or they get them off lease, they buy them. When you have not waited 3 years, you're not going to see a lot of used vehicles in that option, because most people don't buy a vehicle and then trade it in 2 years. So you're not going to see a lot of 1 and 2 year old used vehicles. I don't like that, because when there's not a lot of a vehicle, the people who have that vehicle get to set very high prices that we have nothing to compare it to. And that's a recipe for losing and overpaying. I've had people come to me who are looking like you, and what I say is, I say, okay, shop for a new one first. I'm gonna tell you why. When you shop for a new one first, you get to see what the market value is. So take Sean. I'm showing Sean. Some of you have seen Sean. He got an F-150 Lightning XLT, $73,000 vehicle. Using what we teach in getting bids from home, using the cars from home system, he saved $21,000 on a new one. That was his best offer. He got multiple offers because we always get at least 5. So his best offer, he saves $21,000. If he had gone to look for a 1 or 2 year old one of this, he would have never known that the new ones he can save $20,000 off of if he shops right. Now, some vehicles, it might be $7,000 off, $10,000 off, $5,000 off. The point is, until you know what the new market is for a vehicle, you can't shop a 1 or 2 year old one. Because what happens if you shop a 1 year old version of what Sean got, and he goes and he pays, he pays 65 for it because he thinks, or let's say 60. Let's say 60. A brand new one, 73. Someone else is charging 60. All right, it's 2 years old. Let me get that one. Not 15 grand off. Problem is, he just overpaid for a vehicle because he could have got a new one for less than he got that 1 or 2 year old one. That's why the recent shoppers, anytime you guys are shopping 1 or 2 year old, you have to shop new first to find out what the market is. Now, in my book, I have my strategies for shopping new online and shopping pre-owned. It's totally different. Pre-owned, you want to go to all the marketplaces. If a vehicle's not on a marketplace, y'all, don't shop. Don't look at it. What does that mean? You ever walk into a used car dealer and you see a used car, but there's no price on it? Type a $ if you've ever experienced this. If you've ever looked at a deal, you've been in a dealership, you see they have a used car, there's no price on it. Type a $ if you've experienced that. Okay, I see you, Terrell. Okay, perfect. I see you, Don Dickey. Okay, perfect. All right, we have enough people. All right, Makeover Forever Studios. I see you. Okay, Todd May, I see you. So this is a common thing. When you go and look at that vehicle, the most dangerous thing to do, I see you, Tony, is to negotiate on a car with no price because they can make the price up. When a car is on a marketplace like cars.com, carfax.com, carguru.com, carvana.com, carmax.com, these are all the marketplaces we shop for used cars at once. It's like a big round robin for us. This is how I want you to shop. Now you must be competitive or no one's coming. Now, there's some people who try to pull a tactic. They'll list a car for 20. They have no intentions on selling it for 20. But they want you to come in, and then they'll charge you more, fees, makeup fees, and all of that stuff. That's why we always call beforehand. But we know the power is online. The competition is online. So when you're looking, Terrell, you're either deciding, all right, I'm either going to look for a new vehicle, find out what the market price is for the vehicle I'm looking for and how much I can save. What's my best offer? You need to get at least 5 offers. I'm telling you, it's going to be big differences. You have to prove this to yourself. Call around. If you want to do it manually, you don't have my book, do it manually, call around, speak to sales managers. You are going to see it's going to be a $5,000 to $10,000 difference minimum between all of these dealers' offers, minimum. And so then you want to look at the pre-owned options. Then you look at the pre-owned options. And the pre-owned options will tell you what the market is. And so this is only for you who are looking at recent model cars. If you're not looking at 1 or 2 year pre-owned, this doesn't matter. But those people have a little bit more budget, and that's okay. That's okay. But when you have a little bit more budget where you can look at a 1 or 2 year old pre-owned car, that means you have a little bit more money to lose if you make a bad decision. So that's what you want to consider, Terrell. Shop for the new ones first, depending on what your budget is, and then look at the pre-owned market and say, all right, where's the pre-owned market? But that 1 or 2 year old, you're not going to have a lot. Until that 3-year cycle comes and dealers can start buying those vehicles back off lease, you're not going to see a lot of vehicles. That's why I don't play in that 1 or 2 year old zone. It's just a dangerous zone to play in. Dealers know, oh, we're the only ones. Hey, we the only one that got this car within 50 miles. Let's charge this for it. And then they depend on someone who doesn't know the market to come in, pay for it, and you can literally overpay by 10, 20 grand and you won't realize it until, a couple years later. Okay, great question though. Great question, Terrell. Go ahead, shoot the next one up, Dolan. Type your questions, y'all. We're gonna get through as many as we possibly can in an hour. I see a lot of questions coming in. Let me try to speed it up. All right, this is Abigail from Instagram. How do I shop for cars and take test drives without feeling like I'm wasting their time? I'm nervous. Okay, first thing to realize, Abigail, you're a very considerate person. God bless you for that. You're about to spend 5 figures on a vehicle. Some of you 6 figures. I love the courtesy, but we are the prize. When you're shopping the way I want you to shop, some of you, this is your first time here. You don't even know, hey, who is this guy talking? I spent 14 years in the car business. 5 years with Mercedes, 5 years General Motors. I've been helping people buy cars and get below market deals since 2019, education-wise. I love it, but you deserve the experience. If you were walking into the mall to spend 15 grand, let's just call it 15 grand, how would you want to be treated? Like royalty, right? Right? So, but I'm going to answer your question, but I need your mindset. A lot of what we're discussing is going to be the right mindset. You are the prize. That's why I don't want you going to dealers begging for discounts anymore. I want you sitting at home making dealers bid. This is how we do test drives on new cars and leases. New cars and leases. This is how we do test drives. I have it in my book because it's that serious. You're either going to have a great test drive or you're going to have a horrible test drive experience. We call and we ask the dealer, who's the most experienced person there? Who does everybody like? Who's the person that, has been there for a long time, just has a great reputation? Oh, that's John. John is just, he's been here 20 years. Everybody loves him. Okay, can I speak to John? Hey, John. My name is Deshone. I'm interested in the Honda Pilot. I just like to test drive it. I'm in the process of deciding what I want. And, do you have this particular model? You have one there that I could test drive? John, because we asked for the best person, we're typically going to get somebody who is not going to lie, usually. Not a guarantee, but taking these steps, I know these guys. I've been in this dealership. I know most dealerships have one person there who has a good reputation and who cares about that reputation. If you're enjoying this content, hit the like button, y'all. And Keith, y'all killing the likes on TikTok. Shout out to everybody who's hitting the likes on TikTok, to double tapping the screen. Appreciate y'all. And shout out to everybody who hits the like button. When we get there, we meet with John, we test drive. John, thank you so much. Can I have your card? I'll leave you my information. And if this is the vehicle I want, I'll be in touch with you. Perfect. Oh, Deshone, we don't sit down? No, we never sit down. I'm telling you that there are things you must unlearn about the shopping process if you're going to win. And what does winning look like? Getting the most money off in the least amount of time. There's no leverage that you have when you sit down and try to negotiate with a car salesman. Every single dealer around you that wants to compete for your business, you can't talk to them while you're sitting in one dealer talking to a car salesman. That's why we don't do it. We get a card. Thank you so much. Listen, if this is the one for me, I'm going to give you a call. Simple. Pressure's off. There's no pressure in our system. You can't pressure us. That's what I want you doing. New cars, leases, that's how you test drive. 20 minutes, you're in and out. And I'm a car salesman at heart because that's what I am by profession. I would never develop a system that would allow you to waste car salesmen's time. I just wouldn't do it. I developed a system that when our people go get cars, look at Ansley. When our people go get cars, Ansley just got his lease, 1% lease, $58,000 Infiniti. Look, started the process Saturday, accepted deal Monday, all by Email. $58,000 car is paying $554 a month, no down payment. You know, we have tons of these. None of these people spent. Look at Jared. Lease like a boss, $569 a month down to $520. Volkswagen Tiguan, no money out of pocket. Let's go to a purchase. Pierre, pre-owned car purchase, got his 2022 Mazda, got a 20% discount off the original MSRP. This is 30 minutes. We are not spending more than 30 minutes in dealerships. Who doesn't want to spend more time in dealerships? Type me if you're like Deshone. I don't want to be in dealerships that long. You thought you had to be in dealers to save the big money, right? You thought you had to be in dealers to save the big money. I'm showing you as someone who pays less than everyone and who teaches people to pay less than everyone. Look, Kimberly, $20,000 off a Maserati, shopping from home. Because when you can talk to more people at once, the discounts fly off. And you see that all these dealers want to compete. So what you want to do, the best thing you can do to not waste people's time, Abigail, is to shop from home the right way. Because when you shop from home the right way, you realize it's only a few things you need to be in the dealership for. That's your test drive. I just told you how to set it up. With used cars, we do it at the end. But we're only there for a second. In fact, when you go to pick up your car, they're going to tell you, thank you. This was one of the most easiest deals I ever made in my life. Because you came in, you emailed us, you knew what you wanted, you gave us the information we needed, we made you an offer, you knew what you were decisive. We have all these scripts. By the way, in my book, I have all the email scripts. You don't have to even think about what you're going to say. It's literally copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste, copy and paste when we're shopping for new cars and leases. With used cars, before I go to the next question, I want to hit on the used car process. Used cars, we must test drive at the end. We can't test drive used cars over here and then go and buy another used car over here. So what we do when we narrow our choices down on all these marketplaces to our top 5 favorite vehicles, we need to verify that there's no bogus fees. When I was shopping for my Infinity truck, I narrowed it down to 4 vehicles. But I'm going to tell you something that's the most. Who's bought a used car in their life? Type the letter U. I need you guys to program what I'm about to say into your brain cells for the rest of your life. Type the letter U if you bought a used car or if you plan on buying a used car one day. Type the letter U. All right. I see you, Michael. Don Dickey. Okay. Terrell. I see you, Blizzy. Tony. Okay. Lori. I see you. Victoria. Anybody who plans on this. Let me tell you how. Okay, let me tell you how. All right. See, when I'm about to reveal big stuff, I got to kind of see how I want to say it. The marketplaces that we go to look at used cars on, they're never going to tell us what a great price is. And I'm going to tell you why. The only thing that matters, let's say we're looking at 4 white Honda Accords. 4, they're all white. These are the cars we want. We narrowed it down. We're looking at 4. They all got similar miles, and they're asking price is $20,000. The marketplace is going to tell you what they think a good deal is based on algorithms. Based on all the vehicles listed on the market, this is a good deal. This is a bad deal. Here's what matters. How much was the original price of each vehicle? Why is this the only important thing? Because if we're looking at 4 white Honda Accords, but one of them was $35,000 when it was new, one of them was $39,000 when it was new, has a sport package, some special technology. One was $31,000 when it was new, one was $29,000 when it was new. What's the best value? What's the best value? You see how we clearly just went from, wow, all of these vehicles look the same, similar price, similar asking price. But once we found out, wait a minute, this one right here was $38,000 new. This one here has the cameras in it all around and the self-driving package, and it has the same asking price, or it's maybe $1,000 more. This is what I call the true value discount. The true value discount. And let me tell you why the marketplaces will never tell you this. Because if they advertise the true value discount, someone has to be at the bottom. In other words, when you're looking at Honda Accords, if you could go right to the true value, who's giving me the biggest discount off the original MSRP? That means the car at the bottom, they might be giving you no discount off the MSRP. We saw that during the pandemic. It was people selling, who remembers people selling Toyota Camrys, 3-year-old Toyota Camrys, for the same price as they were when they were new? There was some deal, everyone wasn't. I know a couple dealers, I know a couple general managers who run dealerships who are ethical. And they said, look, I don't care what the market does. I can't sell a used vehicle for the same price it was when it was new. I'm not doing that. Because when that customer comes back in 3 years to deal with me, I'm going to have to help them again. And if I bury them in their car, then I'm not going to be able to help them. But there were plenty of people who was. The true value discount is all that matters, which means we have to know what the car was new. We have to find the Maroni label. We have to go on the Carfax. We have to go to where the window sticker is and get the original price. And then we'll clearly see, oh, that's the best used car. And no one else shops like that. No one else shops like that. If y'all get that, type dollar signs. If you get that, what I just said, type dollar signs. That is what is important, not what they tell you is a good deal. So going back to me, when I got my Infiniti truck, 4 vehicles, all in a similar price range, all white. They were between $1,800 difference from each other, similar miles. But once I found out that one was 46,000 new, one was 48,000 new, one was 52,000, and the one I ended up getting was 54,000. That separated it. The one that was 54,000 new, they were giving me a 42% discount asking price. These are things that help you cut through the mess, the smoke and mirrors of the car business. In order for you to win and pay less than everyone else, you have to cut through the smoke and mirrors. That's what I'm great at showing you because I was in the business. So these are the things that, again, if you say, Deshone, I need the whole blueprint. I need to give me the step-by-step. Leasing, used cars, high mileage, new cars, give it to me step-by-step. That is my new digital book. It's called Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It'll be in your inbox in literally 5 minutes, and you get yours for 75% off. Support yourself and support your family by getting your copy. Go to my YouTube comments. We have a link right there pinned for you guys. We have a link in the Facebook comments. Get your book for 75% off for the next 30 minutes. You'll see a timer on the page. Now, if you're on TikTok, click that picture of me and go to that link in my TikTok bio and click the one that says 75% off to activate the 75% off link. Get your book so that you never have to wonder about this. Now, we're going to continue, but I just know as we answer more questions, some of you are going to forget that. What we just went over in the last 10 minutes, this next question, you're going to forget all of that. All right. Now, Dennis Gamister from Instagram, on a lease agreement, does the deal use the MSRP or the discounted price? So when we're shopping for leases, this is what we do. We get all our offers with, this is how we construct our offers. If you've ever looked on these commercials and you saw, well, Deshone, when I look at leases, though, it seems like, one, they limit me on miles. And then I also see that they want a bunch of money up front. You are correct. But they only limit you on miles according to the miles you told them you were going to drive. They don't pick the miles for you. We select the miles. And what ends up happening is people will, because they typically don't know how to shop, they're negotiating. They'll say, all right, well, my payment's $400. That's my budget. I drive more than 10,000 miles a year, but I guess I'll just take the 10. Instead of paying $20 more to get 12, they'll take the 10, and then they'll say something like, if I go over, I'll just buy it. Horrible idea. Absolutely catastrophic idea. Or if I go over, they blame the lease. They literally will get the penalty, get the bill for the 6,000 extra miles that they used, and they're charging them 25 cents a mile now, and say, man, this is why I don't want to lease, because they limit me on my miles. No, they didn't. To save $20 a month, you pick the lower miles. You can customize leases up to 15,000 miles if you want, 18,000 miles. Look at Jen. Jen just got her lease on her Honda. Hold on, where's Jen's lease? She got an 18,000 mile a year lease. Now, the way we shop is 12,000 miles per year, only first month's payment due at signing, and we shop it taxes and fees in the payment. Jen, her best offer on her Honda CR-V hybrid, which is one of the most popular hybrid crossovers in the market, she got $512 a month, 12,000 miles. That's a 1.3 lease. We'll talk about the 1% rule for great lease deals and the 1.5% for overpaying. She gets 1.3. She bumps it up to 18,000 miles per year. But look how much more, y'all. $50. So for $50 more a month, she, instead of driving 12,000 miles, she gets to drive 18,000 miles. And she gets to drive as much as she needs to for $50. Versus her saying, you know, I'm going to take the 12 knowing I don't drive 12, and then I'm going to get penalties and, again, blame the lease. The lease is custom. And the first time I learned about high mileage leases was when I was working at Hyundai. I was a manager at Hyundai for a short period of time. It was a highway dealer. The guy ended up going to jail. It was typical, like, you know, I've worked in some dealers, some phenomenal dealers, but this one was like, if you ever could imagine the prototypical highway scam dealership, I mean, this was it. So I was only there for 6 weeks, but I was a manager. And what I saw was I was taking care of this guy's lease who was just finished with it. He had 72,000 miles on it. And I went out there and I said, wait, you leased this? 72,000 miles? He said, yeah, I always lease now. He said, I used to come in every time I bought a car. My negative equity was ridiculous. $15,000, $10,000. I had to keep writing these big checks. And I just said, you know, let me switch to leasing. A customer taught me about high mileage leasing. That's why when I say car salesmen aren't trained, they're not trained. We learn things by intuitiveness and curiosity, and you know, we're not trained on finance and insurance and leases versus buying, none of that. You know, so anyway, I said, wow. And so I looked at his payment. This guy is only paying like $175 more a month, not even, to drive 25,000 miles a year. So if a normal Hyundai lease was $299, he's paying $450, $475, and he's driving 25,000 miles a year. Boom. Drops it off. Boom. No negative equity, none of the trash that most high mileage drivers are dealing with. So when we are shopping for a lease, we have to shop with our template. Whenever you're getting your lease quotes, it's 12,000 miles a year, first month's payment only due at signing, taxes and fees in the payment. Assume tier 1. That's what we blast out. In my book, I have something called the 25 to 5 strategy. We connect with 25 dealers online. You use my email scripts, copy and paste. We're going to get 5 offers. This will take you. You saw Ansley. He said, I started it Saturday. By Monday, I accepted a deal. This doesn't matter. This is a 24, 48-hour turnaround to start getting offers on these vehicles. Now, once we're looking at offers, we take the MSRP. We take the monthly payment. We divide it into the MSRP. So let's just say we're shopping for a vehicle. It's $40,000. One of our offers is $400 a month. $400 a month. No money due at signing. Just $400. We drive off. We divide that into the MSRP, not the selling price. The MSRP. So now we divide that into $40,000. we can see and we multiply by 100, that's a 1% lease. The 1% lease rule has been around for the last 20, 30 years. If you could lease a vehicle and the offers is under 1% of the MSRP, it's a steal, great value. Because a $40,000 vehicle with no money down to buy would cost probably $800 a month on a 5-year loan. So it's incredible value. It's a steal. You don't have to worry, am I overpaying? Nowhere near. You're still in the vehicle. And we have some people who shop from home using the car. If you're Deshone, do those deals really exist? If you're on YouTube or Facebook, you can see right now, look, Greg got a 1% lease on his Kia EV6 Win, $527 a month, $56,000 vehicle. Look, Zafrina, $579 a month, $65,000 vehicle. Ansley, you saw Ansley's Infinity. Rosalie's Infinity truck. Right here. Look, it's paying $592 a month, $59,000 vehicle. 1% lease deals are out here when you know how to shop. Now, that's a steal. That doesn't mean that's the best. That doesn't mean, if I can't get a 1% deal. In order to get a 1% deal, you have to not just shop. You need major support from the manufacturer. The lease program has to be good. The rebates have to be good. The residual value have to be good. The money factor, which is the interest rate, have to be good. There's a lease program that no dealer can control. So when we get these offers, that's how we're judging them. Divide the monthly payment into the MSRP. In my book, I have a calculator that I created where we put all our offers into it, and then it spits out what we call counter offers. So we get 5 offers, 7 offers. We put them all into this calculator I created. Again, this is the best $24. If you get there for $24 before that 30-minute timer and you get your copy, it'll be the best $24 you ever spent. I hold myself accountable to that. You can Google the book and read the reviews. There's software that we created that that's how you're judging your leases. You're looking and you're comparing to the 1% rule. Now, when you get to 1.5%, we can't make those deals. We're paying too much for a vehicle that we're giving back. We have to see, there was no indicator before I created the 1.5% rule. As much as I love educating people on leases, the only people who should be leasing is if you're not keeping your cars 8 years. All of you long-term people who are like, you keep your cars more than 8 years, don't think about leasing at all. You should be shopping for below market purchases. But if you're not keeping your cars 8 years, you're losing thousands of dollars not leasing cars. Depreciation is where you lose. Resale value is where you lose. So the 1% rule is what our anchor is, but 1.2 is great value. 1.3, great value. 1.4, good value. 1.5, good value. Anything over 1.5, now we're paying too much for a vehicle that we're giving back. So that's how we're judging. That's how we're judging and comparing our lease offers. And with the calculators that are in my book, you can literally do this in seconds. This stuff, these mathematical things that used to be complex, even hard for me to explain, when you're using the stuff in my book and you're seeing, wait, man, there's calculators, I can do this, boom, boom. Why don't these calculators exist on Google? Because anything that makes dealers compete, they're not going to make for you. They'll make stuff for you that allows you to see more and do this and make it easier and faster and connect to get a loan quick. But competition, any tools that create competition, they're not going to make those for you, because that's where the real money comes off, when you make dealers compete. Okay, so you want your copy of Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. Click the picture of me on Instagram or TikTok. It's going to take you to my bio. You won't leave the broadcast. Click that link and then click the button that activates the 75% off, and you'll have 30 minutes. Once the timer goes to 0, the $97 price is what you have to pay if you want it. It's up to you, but $24 is much better than $97. $97 is still a great price. I have no doubt that you guys would write me, especially the more you use this. 1, 2 cars, 3 cars. You get 1 lease this year, a used car next year, a new car about 4 years. And Deshone, what about when websites change? What about, this is an online system. Websites go out of business. Vroom went out of business. They were in my book. We used to get bids from them. to sell cars to them. When we were shopping for used cars, they were in my multiple marketplace strategy. They went out of business. I went right into the master file, updated the 9,000 people that had a book. It was probably like 2,000, 3,000 at that particular time. And the next time people opened the book file, there was no room. That's why the book is digital. That's one of the reasons. You'll see the other reasons is I have scripts that I link you to. I have PDFs I link you to, videos I link you to. I couldn't do this with a real physical book. So again, in the YouTube comments, in the Facebook comments, we have a link for you guys to get your book at 75% off for 30 minutes and use it. All right, Dolan, shoot the next one then, brother. Let's go. How old of a used car should a person buy? That's based on budget. I like to start with when we open those marketplaces, Tony, you want to start with the most recent cars. The first thing you're doing when you open up the marketplaces, y'all, first of all, we're creating accounts. Out of all those marketplaces I named, 6 or 7 of them, we use 8. We use eBay Motors, we use Carfax.com, we use Cars.com, Autotrader.com, CarGurus.com, Carvana, CarMax, Driveway, and that's 8. 7 of those, or 6, allow us to create an account. Why is it important to create an account? So that every single new car that matches our criteria, as soon as it's listed, we get a notification. The people who have that notification on, most of them don't know how to assess the market like I'm showing you. So even if they get a notification that the car was just posted, they're not going to have the information to take advantage of it. They're going to hesitate. What we do is the first thing we do after we create our account is we're now assessing the market. Where's the low prices? Where's the high prices? And I'll usually go 3 years back, sometimes 4 years back, and let's assess the market. Now, I have another calculator in the, matter of fact, let me show this to you guys. I have another calculator. It's called the Perfect Budget Calculator. The Perfect Budget Calculator. What this does, you guys can't see this on YouTube, but you can see it on you can't see this on TikTok. But if you go over to YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram, you'll be able to see what I'm sharing right now. Now, what often happens is, let me share this. Hang on. Boom. Okay. So now what often happens is a lot of you will say, I could put down $2,000, but, if I don't have to, then I won't. Or, if you get a car and you pay $15,000, if you pay $500 a month for 5 years, that's a lower price you paid than paying $500 a month for 6 years. So ways to manipulate our budget is to shop within our budget for a shorter loan. This is all stuff where I said, okay, people don't know they need to be doing this. So let's make a tool that does it for them. And this is, you get access to this when you get your copy of Cars from Home, my book. So let's say we do something called an equity assessment. Everybody who has a car, remember I was mentioning a little while ago, we go to these websites, Driveway, all these, and we find out what our car is worth. Let's say you're like, man, okay, if I sell my car to CarMax, I'm actually going to have $3,200 of equity. All right, so when I sell, I'm going to put that into my budget. All right, now my down payment, max I could comfortably do is $1,500. That's max. Now, we use the average interest rate. And in my book, I give you a link to see what the average interest rate is at the particular time you're going to be shopping. Let's just say it's 6.9. Now, we enter a comfortable monthly payment. Let's say you're like, all right, I don't want to go any more than $425 a month for 6 years. That's my max. You enter your state so we can pull the taxes and we can pull the fees. New Jersey, calculate budget goals. Now it's going to ask you a comfortable monthly payment on a 5-year loan. You might say, all right, same thing. I still don't want to go over 425 no matter what. Perfect. What this does is create multiple goals. And it creates multiple goals. It creates a starting point. Now, if you find a car at this price, $18,776 or less, you can do a 5-year loan, use none of your equity. So this will go in your bank, and use none of your down payment. Now, next goal may be, okay, $22,000 or less. 6-year loan, no equity, no down payment. So the first 2 goals are no money down goals. If I find a car anywhere in these price ranges, I can do these deals, no money down. Now, this is one where I use my equity, but no down payment. Goal number 4, I use my equity for a 6-year loan, no down payment. Now, goal number 5. Now you can see the price of the car is getting higher. Use equity, use my use equity and down payment, but it's 5-year loan. And then here is your max budget. Your max budget, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with if you find a vehicle that, once you use this and you find the best price vehicle, as long as you are under this number, you are fine. The problem is when you go over that number. The problem is when you go over budget. All of these goals are your budget. So when I got my Infinity truck, I got my goal out. It was my 4th goal. 4th goal. 4th goal. Now, this is how you make sure when you go out to shop, and look, you'll notice, look at the top. What does it say? You select your state determines the sales tax, will factor it in, give you precise figures. Now, you'll notice, what about the fees, Deshone? Don't all these cars charge fees? We've already factored in the taxes, and we've added $1,000 for fees. What is $1,000? The documentation fee and the motor vehicle fees. It's all in there. So you can go out and know that's my max budget. I cannot buy a vehicle, make a deal on a vehicle where my purchase price is more than $26,729. That's the perfect budget calculator. So there are certain things that I had to create. No one does them. Everything that I was referring you guys to, all the websites, I was doing this, and there was some things where I couldn't refer you to anything because it doesn't exist. We had to build it. So this is how we make sure we are shopping, whether it be for new cars, used cars, below our budget. And that's not how you make, but here's the thing. I need you, before we go to the next question, I need you to understand something. That doesn't make sure you pay below market price. You have to combine this with getting bids, because you can be within your budget and pay over market value. There's 3 types of prices you can pay for a car, whether it's a new car, used car, or lease. Did you pay market value? That's what everyone's paying. Average. Did you pay over market value? Our only deals we make are below market value. And the way that happens is through bidding and creating a marketplace around you where all these people are competing for your business. That is how you combine that with the budget. This will keep you below your budget, but it does not guarantee. If I gave this to you, all of you would be like, this is great. I'm never going to go over my budget again. But it does not, until you combine that with getting bids for whatever you're looking for, you still run the risk of overpaying, even if you're under budget. Okay? Clear? Type $ if you're all clear before we move to the next question. And there's no way for us to do this manually. If there was a way that you could do this manually, trust me, I would have told y'all to saw me make a video about it all day on my social media. There was just no way. We had to build software. And in my book, you guys will have access to at least 5 calculators for counter offers for new cars, true value discounts when you put the new price you put the original new price of the used car deal whatever used car you're buying, you put the new car price in, and then you put in the asking price, and it tells you the true value discount, perfect budget calculator. We have at least 5 softwares that I've custom built, and to make sure you guys get great value. So again, I didn't want to be the person who said, you guys know, there's plenty of people who be like, man, the value I'm giving you guys, I'm gonna charge $2.99 for the book, whatever. The people who pay, they'll save the money. And the people who pay, there'll be some people, because some people are going to pay, they just see value. Poor people look at cost. Wealthy people look at value. People who are into financial literacy they don't ask themselves, how much does that cost? They ask themselves, what's the value I'm getting from that? And I could have said, well, you know what? I'm going to help you pay less than everyone on new cars, used cars, leases. We'll do $200, $300 for the book. And I only want to sell it to 1% or 5% of the pie. But at the end of the day, my mission is to help as many people want to be helped. And so that's why I said, okay, $97. But even our welcome offer, you got a chance to get it for $24 if you get there before the 30 minutes is up. Okay? YouTube link, get your copy. And make sure you save the support email, guys. You see it scrolling across the screen. If, for instance, you don't get your book in 5-10 minutes, it's usually because you typed your email wrong. Reach out to my support team. They'll get you the book immediately. And soon as you pay, go to TikTok. Look, y'all see the links. Go to my bio on YouTube and Instagram. Get your copy. And as soon as you pay your $24, there's going to be a page that says screenshot this page. Right on that page, you can access your book. I want you to have the book immediately, but I also, in case some of you type wrong, big thing, we fat finger stuff. I want you to have the support email so that you can reach out to my team so we can make sure that book is in your inbox so you can use it and start saving money and building confidence. Okay, Dolan, next question, man. Let's keep it rolling. Okay, there's something about Mary on Instagram. I bought a car as is, and in less than a month, motor lock, can I sue for selling me a lemon? I'm not a lemon law attorney, but that is not what a lemon law case is based off of, in my understanding. Lemon law case is based on you buying a vehicle and the same thing continuing to go wrong at least 3 times. That's a general overview of, what the lemon law process is. And if y'all are enjoying the broadcast on TikTok, can y'all just double tap the screen and keep running those likes up? Every time y'all do that, y'all help TikTok bring more people here, and I appreciate it. If you're going to spend some time with us and, every time just you hear something you like and you're like, man, we got to share this. Oh, and shout out to Madhu for sharing. Here's the thing. I made a video about this the other day because a friend of mine got a used vehicle and the transmission went out on him in about a month. So it wasn't the engine. But when you buy a vehicle as is, it's very tough for you to have any recourse, anything that you can do, because you're signing a contract that specifically says as is. It's very tough. What I would do if I was you, because the damage is done, I just find out what it would cost me to put a used engine in the vehicle, rebuilt in a used engine, salvage yard. You need to, and especially if you're buying cars that you're paying cash and you're buying as is cars, these are probably cars that are under 10 grand, 12 grand. You need a mechanic. See, because that's a strategy. There is a great strategy called buying inexpensive cars and having a local mechanic so you could do what's right. Oftentimes you could drive those cars for a year or 2 and sometimes sell them for what you got for them because you've outlived the depreciation. Those cars are not depreciating as much unless you overpay for them. If you overpay for it, then it's going to drop because you overpaid for it. But if you pay a great price on some of these vehicles, you can oftentimes win with this, but it requires skills. One of the skills is, how do I avoid engine issues, transmission issues? So a couple things. for those of you who may be going this route, you need to narrow your search down thoroughly based on title history, service records, accident history. That oftentimes you'll see, if I typed in right now 2018 Subaru Outback longevity. That's one of the things we do. It's in the 4th step of my book. Before we get prices on anything, we do a quick 5-minute search to make sure these aren't bad cars. There are bad cars out there, but there's data that shows us. If I type that in, it'll tell, okay, these vehicles are known for lasting 100,000 to 300,000 miles, depending on how they're maintained. That means you could have a quality vehicle, but if it wasn't maintained correctly by the first owner or owners, it's going to break down. The life cycle is cut short. These are preventable mistakes by simply checking Google. Now, we narrow these things down based on title history, service records, accident history. Once we do that, I don't mind buying a 10-year-old. I bought a car that was it's my around the city car. I drive it probably 200 miles a month. I bought it from a owner in South Orange. He was a 98-year-old man. He's had it for 10 years, and he knew everything about it. He leased it for 3 years, then he bought it. So he's really had the car for its entire life cycle. That's what you want, because you're able to look and see the service records. I don't mind. We have to take the risk off of ourselves, and the risk off of ourselves with used cars to prevent ourselves from buying these used cars that are breaking down on people, and they're always in the shop, and they're dying on the road, and you got to keep the tow truck on speed dial. It's simply a matter of checking to see the reliability records of the car, which is easily accessible on Google, the way I just said, and then making sure the one we get was actually maintained correctly. And that's going to give us the best chance of having a great experience. These are the steps we must take. But in your particular case, there's probably, I don't think you have a case. You can certainly reach out to a lemon law attorney. I don't think you have a case at all. I think because it's buyer beware with cars. It's buyer beware. That means it's on you. If something goes wrong, it's on you. And so what I would do is I would find a local mechanic that I trust, that everyone loves in the neighborhood, and I've been there for 10 years, 20 years. And I would say, listen, can you find out what it would cost me to put another engine in this vehicle? My father did this on his GMC Envoy about 6 years ago. It was a 2008 Envoy. The engine went out on him. He put a new engine in the vehicle. One of the best $2,000 he ever spent, $2,000 or $2,500, whatever it cost him. They put a new engine in that vehicle. He still has it. He's about to sell it for about $4,000. He's had that vehicle from 2013. Think about that. A lot of people, engine goes out, they sell the car. It's worthless now, so they take the loss. Meanwhile, man, let me come up with $2,500, and I still got no car payment for the next 6 years. We don't need to be so quick to go replace our cars. If we follow these strategies, we can actually, I love to see more people doing that. Just go fix the car. But don't go to the dealership to fix it when they tell you, hey, the engine's going to cost $10,000. And what does the dealership say, y'all? When you have these major issues and the dealership tells you the transmission is $7,000 and a new engine is $10,000, what's their suggestion? What's their suggestion when they tell you that? Because they already know you're gonna be like, yo, what the heck? I can't pay all of that. What's their suggestion? Let's see, let me give y'all some time to type. I just want y'all to know, this is how the system works. So I know somebody. Look, thank you, J. June. Trade it in. Thank you. You see how we can? Oh, look, N.Y. Anderson, buy a new one. So what they do is, exactly, Victoria, they're going to suggest a new vehicle. So if we know, now watch this, as your vehicle is worthless, you don't have any opportunity to put it on a competitive market to see, But how much would somebody pay for that? They've already assessed the value, and they want to structure your deal, have you take that major loss for that engine. They're going to put the engine in for a lot less than that, and they're going to resell it, and now they sold you another car. When you could have just literally went to a mechanic, got a rebuilt or got a used engine, put in that vehicle, cost you $2,500, maybe $2,000, and literally you're on the road for another couple years with no car payment, keeping money in your household versus now I'm in another $400 a month payment. Okay? This is what it's about. And if you're like Deshone, well, I don't want to keep a car that long. We talked about you earlier. You shouldn't be buying cars. Because the keepers on here who keep cars 8 years, 10 years, who has a car they've had in their driveway for more than 8 years? Type the number of years. I want to explain something we're gonna help a couple people learn a lesson here about themselves, because they're gonna be like, they're gonna realize they're not keepers. Look, look, we need to show people, because some people think, oh, I keep my cars a long time. I keep them about 6-7 years. We need to show that that's not a long time in the world of cars and depreciation. So Michael, 15 years. Michael got a car that he's had for 15 years. Let's go. Type the number of years you've had it if it's more than 8. Look, Vancia, 11 years. Let's see. See, a lot of people don't keep their cars. Look, N.Y. Anderson said, I drove my last car 14 years. All right, Connie, 15 years. She has a 2004 Chevrolet. Tony on Facebook, 2006. Now, watch this, y'all. If you ask me, Deshone, what's the way to get the most money out of a vehicle? It's to do what they're doing. Tanaya, 9 years. No, Renata, not less than 8. Not less than 8. We're trying to put you into a different cat. We're trying to help you see the category you should be in. Look, 9 years. Donna, 15 years. What's so important for y'all to see about these people is that they have beat depreciation. And that means whatever their vehicles are worth today, a year from now, they're going to be worth about the same. If their vehicles are worth $4,000 today, a year from now, they'll be able to still sell it for about $4,000. But the thing is, they're trying to get the most money out of it because the cost of replacement is expensive compared to what they're doing. No matter how much they got to pay to keep those vehicles on the road every year, a little couple $100, maintenance, whatever, it's nothing compared to going and getting a new car and bringing hundreds of dollars a month or thousands of dollars in the form of cash out of our household. And everyone's not going to do that. And that's okay. You should not be buying cars. You should be shopping for below market leases. Because again, there's 2 ways to save money. Do what the keepers do. You just saw all the keepers. We shouted out all of them. And the other way is to go in and not tie money up in the vehicles in the first place. When you look at somebody like Danielle, she's driving a $44,000 Audi, 2024 Audi A3. That vehicle is $800 a month to buy, no money down. $800 a month for 5 years, maybe $700 a month for 6 years. She's paying $550 a month. She didn't tie up the money in the first place. That's the name of the game with leasing. Bonita on her Telluride. This is also to show you it doesn't matter what the market does. The market could be up or down. We're going to pay less than everyone. This is Bonita. She got a Kia Telluride during the pandemic when everybody was paying ridiculous prices. That's why I show her 2022. Look at the date. She said, I'm driving my dream vehicle, $600 a month. People were leasing. And I know if somebody watching this and they're like, if you leased a Kia Telluride during the pandemic, you are not paying what she's paying with no money down. I know it. I know it. People were DMing me, Deshone, I want a Telluride. They want $900 a month for them. I know people weren't paying $600 a month, but she came in, used our bidding system, used the same strategies you're going to have access to in my digital book. She got $600 a month from home without being in a dealership. Her dream vehicle. This is how you win. You're either going to not tie up your money in vehicles. You're going to drive new vehicles that don't have problems because they're always under warranty and you're paying cents on the dollar compared to people purchasing. Or you're going to be a keeper like Michael and like Donna and like the people who said, okay, I'm keeping my vehicle this long. That's why in my book, it's 7 steps. But the first step is to ask yourself how many years you're keeping your next vehicle. That is the first question I would ask you if you and I were shopping together. My first question to you would be, Michael, how many years you want to keep the next vehicle? 8 or more or less than that? If you said to me, Deshone, I'm going to keep it at least 8. All right, let's go for the purchase. New or used, depending on budget, but we're purchasing. We need to find a below market purchase. If you said, Deshone, I'm 6 years max. I can't see myself keeping a car more than 6 years. All right, we're going to shop for a below market lease. Because the money you're going to spend in a below market lease, when you get these below market lease deals, not commercial leases, not what you see on advertisements, those are ridiculous prices. We don't pay those prices. None of these people that you see, Greg, Charles on his Palisade, none of these are advertisements. They're thousands less. But when you're putting money in the cars and you're driving brand new cars, this is how it was for me when I was 22. This started for me at 22. I was working for Pontiac, and I leased a brand new Pontiac G6. It was $256 a month. $256 a month. It was like a $21,000 vehicle. Same time, I had a friend of mine. She got a I don't want to say it because she might be watching this, and this is no shot at her. I didn't understand enough to teach her back then because I was new in the business. She went and she bought, let's call it a Honda Civic. Now my car was bigger because the G6 was a mid-sized vehicle. The Honda Civic is a compact vehicle, but she bought it. $20,000 vehicle, 22, whatever it was at the time, paying almost $500 a month. Like that's a $500 payment. That's what it is. So my young household, I got a newborn daughter. I got a new car I'm paying $256 a month for. Same time, it's got families around me there in their 20s, but they're paying $500 a month. This is what showed me, wait, something's going on. And I never stopped. I bought a used car at that time, but since I've had 4 Infiniti leases, I've had a Jeep Grand Cherokee lease, and people always think, D, you must be paying ridiculous money. I see you get new cars every 3 years, but they don't. I'm driving $40,000 cars, $45,000 vehicles. I never paid over $400 a month. Not one of my lease payments was ever. I remember I got this Jeep Grand Cherokee, and it was a $35,000 Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo, 2018. When I got my offers, the best offer was $330 a month. 12,000 miles per year. And that's what I was driving. If I was driving 15, I would have bumped it up to 15,000 miles per year. I got $330 a month. I went in there and I gave them $330 for that Jeep Grand Cherokee, and I drove off. $35,000 vehicle. This is what I'm telling you guys. This is what is called deal structure. If your deal is not on the right foundation, if you buy, but you should have leased, you're overpaying by thousands and thousands of dollars. And you're going to have subpar vehicles with that run out of warranty, and you're going to have the same payment. You're going to have higher payments. I need you out of these 2 categories. I need you in one of these 2 categories. I'm either going to keep my vehicle long enough to beat depreciation, 8 years or more, or I'm shopping for a below market lease. I'm not going to be stuck in the middle no more, buying vehicles and then selling them while they still have a loan on them, negative equity and all of this stuff. This is paramount. Okay, the buying versus leasing thing. I need most of you to put this to bed today. And I think I'm one of the only people that goes into buying versus leasing by the numbers. It's not opinion based. It's not, oh, I think you should lease if you're depending on the car here. It doesn't matter the car. Doesn't matter the car. You can see Teddy's, let's show Teddy's luxury. Teddy got a BMW. Doesn't matter. He wasn't going to keep it 10 years. Look, goes on a BMW 2024 i4 M50. It's a $73,000 vehicle, $856 a month. $856 a month. Look, he said the dealer's initial offer came in at $937 using the counter offer calculator. Using the counter offer calculator, he counted at $829. 8:56. If you just jumped on the broadcast, I showed you some of the calculators that I created that are in this book. In my book, there's a reason it's 5-star rated. There's a reason people that you can go read what your peers say about that book. Get your copy for 75% off. It's in my TikTok bio. Click that picture of me. Click the link. Same thing on Instagram. Go to my bio, click the link, and you'll see a button that activates the 75% off book. And if you're on YouTube or Facebook, it's in the comments section. 30 minutes only. Get your book so you can have access to all of this. Unless you just have an incredible memory and you can remember everything we talked about over the stream, but none of you can. I know none of you can. That's why, I couldn't even do it. It's just too much. We're talking about used car strategies, new car strategies, lease strategies. You guys, you're not gonna remember all of that. But anyway, let's go. All right, I think we got time for a few more. Go ahead, Dolan, keep it rolling. Make sure you guys screenshot the support page. As soon as you pay for your book, the book is on the thank you page. Remember that. I don't want you, I send you the book 2 ways. As soon as you pay, it says access your link below, open it. You can click it and save it right to your phone or computer right then and there. If you do not save it right then and there, make sure you screenshot the support page or use the support email that's scrolling through the screen. This is not for questions. Do not send me general car questions here. I don't answer questions by email. That is strictly for those of you who have your book and you're like, or you paid for the book and you're like, okay, where is it? It's usually because the email was wrong. That's okay. Hit that support email so that my team could send you the link out so that you can have your book today and start digging into it and using it. Even if you're not shopping right now, you can still map a plan out. Go ahead, Dolan, shoot the next question up. All right, this is Victoria from TikTok. Any tips for how I can get the highest trade-in value for my existing vehicle? Of course, bids. Bids. First of all, you just said a curse word. You may not know, but we don't use that T word here because you're never going to get anything. You're not going to get a max value for anything trading. We are fortunate that we have the opportunity to get bids from cash buyers in the market. And I'm not talking about cash buyers like Facebook Marketplace where a person, it's one of your neighbors from your town coming to look at your car. I'm talking about institutional cash buyers. People who cut a check instantly and, they do an inspection. That Jeep Grand Cherokee I sold to CarMax, they were the highest bidder 3 years ago during the pandemic. I'm not going to tell you what I made because those values don't exist anymore. So it just doesn't even make sense. But, those of you who were watching my videos earlier 3 years ago or using my tips, you guys cashed out and made ridiculous money. When corporations were trying to make money on people, we made money too. But CarMax won the bid. I went down there. They did an inspection on the vehicle. They came back. Accounting department came, cut me a check. I walked away with a check. That's it. You don't want to trade. You want to sell. You want to break your not even break your transactions. I need you, Victoria, to realize there are three transactions in a car deal. Who you're going to sell your car to, that's one. Who you're going to buy your car from, that's another. Who you're going to get your loan from, that's the third one. Now, you're not always cash buyers. Deshone, I pay cash. Then you don't need that. Deshone, I don't have a vehicle to replace. Then you don't need that. But how do we make sure we get the highest value or the biggest discount? Bids. Each one, we make the market bid. So what you should do right now, Victoria, this is step 2 in my book. After we decide whether we're going to buy or lease our next vehicle, that's step 1. Then we move to what is called the equity assessment. We need to find out, do we have equity or negative equity? Equity assessment. We call our bank. If we have a loan, we find out what our payoff is. Then we're going to go to carmax.com. I'm going to give you the 6 companies. This is the equity assessment process. We do this for leases too. I don't know if we have time to go into that, but I'm sure there's people on here who didn't know you could sell a lease. Type a question mark if you didn't know. Deshone, what do you mean selling leases? I never heard of that before. Type a question mark if you didn't know you could sell leases. We have an equity assessment process for that too. But what you would do is you go to CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer. This takes 20 minutes. Auto Nation, Sell My Car, and Car Gurus, Sell My Car. Car Gurus, Auto Nation, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, Driveway, Carvana, CarMax. 6 offers in 20 minutes. That's bids. See, everything we do is a bid. That's how we have peace of mind. We don't negotiate. We make people negotiate with each other. There's 2 schools of thought. I want to remodel my kitchen. I want to remodel my whole kitchen. I go in and I have 5 people come out to give me a quote. One of them comes in and I start negotiating with them. Hey, you got to take less. Hey, you got to take less. You got to take less. I don't know if it's a good price or not. But when I come in, the first person comes in, I say, hey, okay, great. Is this your best offer? I'm having a couple other people come by. Oh, okay. Okay, thanks a lot. Next offer. Oh, next offer. Oh, well, listen, look, I could beat that. Oh, I'll give you another 5,000 off. They're competing against each other. When someone knows you are shopping their competition, you're making them compete with each other. They're negotiating with each other, not with you. That's a bar. Type of exclamation point if you got that. When people know you're making them compete with their competition, they're negotiating with their competition, not with you. That's the power of bidding. That's why we got grandmothers and single mothers that can come in and do this. That's why we got people who can come in and do this. You know, how are people getting these prices? Not negotiating, because they're making people negotiate with each other to earn their business. They're making banks negotiate with each other to earn their business. It's a beautiful thing. Banks and dealerships depend on you not making them compete. They want to negotiate with you and try to make you imagine and make you think, well, that's the bottom. That's the bottom. And you think that's the bottom, but that's only their bottom. Their competition's bottom is different. Their competition's best interest rate is different. Their competition's best discount is different. And why is what we do so easy? Because we're right here in our houses. That's why our entire system, our company, my book, our mindset is called Cars from Home. Cars from Home. It encompasses everything we do. Cars from Home. So that's what you do, Victoria. First thing you do is you go to those 6 websites, get your 6 cash offers, and that's going to be higher than any dealer you would ever consider trading the car to. Guaranteed. And this also allows us to eliminate the fake emails we get. All of this stuff is computer generated. I know you guys get these emails. Hey, Deuce, great news. We need your 2016 Kia Optima. We have a customer looking for it. We'll pay you $2,000 over MSRP. Who's gotten those emails? We'll pay you $2,000 over Kelly's Blue Book. Who's gotten those emails? Deuce, the list is CarMax, Carvana, KBB Instant Cash Offer, Driveway, Auto Nation, and Car Gurus. Car Gurus. That's step 2 in my book, the equity assessment process. This is stuff we do before we start shopping. Decide whether we buy or lease is step 1. That's going to put our deal on the right foundation. Step 2 is the equity assessment. Everything we do is a path. It's a clear, easy path. Okay, so yeah, I forgot the question that I just asked, but let's go. I could already tell. See, I could tell when I'm winding down because y'all could tell stuff will start blurring to me. That's why I'm like, see, and if that happens to me, I know it happens to you. Like that's why I'm like, listen, grab your copy of Cars from Home. It's a digital book. You'll have it in your inbox in minutes. It's continued updates. I probably updated that book 5 times since we originally launched it. Added calculators to it. Those weren't in it originally. I've added the calculators. I'm committed to making stuff better without being like, Like, imagine this. Oh, well, you bought volume 1 of Cars from Home, but I just put a new tool in, guys. Now you're going to get volume 2. And now every time a website changes, you got to get volume 2 and volume 3. And 5 years from now, you're getting volume 9 each time. It's like, no, literally one-time cost. And I can't tell you if that'll be around forever. I can't tell you that. I can't tell you 3 years from now I'm going to be giving free updates of the book. I don't know, but I know today that's what it is. Everyone who gets their book, you get free updates as I update the book, because there's value in that. There's value. I could send an email out to people every 3 years and ask them, hey, did you enjoy the book? They're going to say, hey, yeah. Well, here's the thing. My new version is this. There's value in that. It could just be $24. They're already a believer. Someone who used the book's already a believer. So they'd be like, yo, the new version, oh, I'm about to shop again. $24. I'll pay it again. It's the best money I ever spent. But for now, I'm not doing that. Those of you who have the book, you will get free updates, and we'll keep you on the list to make sure you always get free updates of the book. So your link for 75% off is in the YouTube comments. It's only good for 30 minutes. It's in the Facebook comments, and it's in my Instagram and TikTok bios. Click those links in my bio. Click the button that says 75% off my new book. Get there before the $97, before it goes back up to $97. And make sure you save the support email, guys. Screenshot the support email. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. If that book is not in your inbox in 5 minutes, I want you to email my support team. Make sure you check your spam. And I also want you to, as soon as you purchase, you'll see, I say, hey, access your book below. So there's a link where you can click, open it up, get your book immediately if you want to download it, but I also email you a copy. But make sure you save the support email just in case. And again, that email is not for questions. Okay, it's not for car shopping questions, nothing like that. That's only to make sure you get your book. Okay, so great. Listen, great job. We've been on here about 1 hour and 20 minutes. Great questions. You guys know I like to go into detail in these questions. I would love to be able to get through 100 questions in 1.5 hours, but that's just not the way it works. We're not talking about buying, $100 items here. If we were talking about house buying, we'd have to go into detail. These are major items. This is the most expensive item y'all are going to buy behind your house. Think about that. And think about how many people are there to protect you when you buy a house. Think about how many people have licenses. See how that question got asked earlier? Can they sue if it was a house and they did you wrong? Sure. You can go before the real estate commission. People can lose their license. People can lose their ability to practice real estate. If they did something unethical, you can bring them before a court and a judge, and you can have recourse. You can get, justice. Cars, you got nobody. No one's licensed. The person who's helping you buy your car that you're sitting there negotiating with, which I want you to stop, they might have just got that job. And they didn't get that job because they're a finance expert and they're someone who understands how to help you, because they're not going to ever make you compete against. They're never going to put you in a position where you can make them compete. They'll say, hey, let's negotiate. But here's the thing. That person just got a job because, you know how many people walked in a dealership with a good smile and a good personality? 2 weeks later, they're selling cars. These are the people that are helping you. They're not licensed. They didn't go through school. They didn't go through ethics training. They didn't go through any of this stuff that realtors and brokers have to go through to help you buy houses. So when you get your car, it is on you. That's why you want me working with you. You want my blueprint. You're not by yourself. You're watching my videos. Once you get my book, you can stop watching my social media videos. I don't want you watching my social media videos if you have my book. It's just going to confuse you, because what my social media videos do is warn you what not to do. That's what my social media videos do. Don't do this. The worst thing you could do is this. The worst thing you could do is this. Don't do this. My book is teaching you what to do. It's telling you what to do. It's not an education book. It's a do this first. Step 1, do this, do this, do this. Step 7, hey, congratulations. We're taking delivery. We're not focused on that. So once you get my book, you don't have to watch my social media videos ever again. And I want to say that because a lot of people will get the book and still be watching them and trying to piece it together. You got my blueprint. You don't need those videos anymore. Okay? So always a pleasure, y'all. God bless you. To those of you who have your book, make sure you email me when you pick up your cars, send me all the details. Deshone, check this out. This is what I got. This is what I paid, so that we can bring you guys into the stream and continue to tell everybody about you. So about the results. All right. God bless y'all. I will see y'all on the next stream. Always a pleasure.